All right. We are live-ish. Are we live-ish? We are live-ish. Very good. How's it going, everybody? Make sure we keep an eye on the participants list as it starts to grow, hopefully. How's it going, everybody?
It's going.
It is
Good.
going.
It's going. Yeah, it's
whether
going.
we want it to or not.
Exactly.
It continues to go.
Almost Friday.
So I got a couple of things right off the top. I'm gonna kick off a chat poll for everybody that's watching. If you're on YouTube, go vote over there. Yeah, go ahead. There we go. Send that sucker. Is it gonna go? There we go. Live stream topic for Saturday. I'm either gonna do a video where we go through Jerry's Go Box. A couple of people have asked about that, or we do a follow-up video on the Sark track, because I got it working.
No.
The hidden ingredient was Ham Radio Deluxe. That was it. That was all it took. Ham Radio Deluxe fixed everything, all the problems. Literally, it's working flawlessly now. And the cool thing about Ham Radio Deluxe is you can queue up all the satellites that you want it to track, and it'll tell you what the next ones are, and then you just keep clicking on it. You just click on the next one, and it'll just it'll just do it. It's awesome. Awesome. So I'm very happy about that. So I'll let you guys vote. For everybody on the YouTube, hit the vote there. As far as video, obviously QA is what a lot of us, we just hang out, talk, and have fun. A couple of things, though. I've got a plan. I have a plan. I want to start changing the organization so much inside the shack. So I have the wide video. It's kind of hard to tell, but all my QRP radios, which are all that pile up there, and there's actually some up there, and then these hit the camera. The pegboard hitting everything. The pegboard little holders, they're just these wire mesh holders, and they're kind of like, it just looks messy. It's just like all crazy. So I'm going to Chip, if you're getting an echo, it's likely because you're also on the Zoom, so mute the YouTube. If you're on the Zoom, you're seeing me live, but on the YouTube it's going to look slightly different because there's going to be some delay. So I've got these cool red boxes right here, and I've got a bunch of shelves, and I'm going to reorganize all my wires and stuff, and I've actually got a couple of other boxes too that I'm going to put the QRP radios in and totally redo my setup over here so it's a little bit different looking, so hopefully that'll be cool.
Alright, I'm gonna go from my computer. Be right back.
They're on YouTube and they hear an echo. Oh, why? Everything else is muted.
Your audio's definitely messed up on the YouTube side. It's like it's picking up two mics at once.
Two mics at once.
How are y'all
muted.
How are y'all seeing him on?
There's a YouTube video. It's I linked it on Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Is anybody on the Zoom? Oh, no echo now. Oh. So it's here.
It popped. Yeah.
Ah, there it is. No, that's not it. So it's on the desktop screen, huh?
Everything sounds good on the Zoom.
Okay. It's like it's picking up the camera audio when you swap to that at the same time as your mic.
All the other things are muted. Weird.
Zoom audio is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah, because when you're on that desktop screen, you can hear the background hum.
I can only see one mic. Can you still hear me on YouTube? Yes or no?
Yep.
You can still hear me on YouTube?
Yes. You're still on YouTube, but it sounds like it's coming out from just the camera.
There's like no more mic things connected. That is weird. Alright, hold on. How about now? Shit, that might be it, actually.
Still
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, your test just came through. It's still the echo.
Okay, I'm tapping on the mic. Is that one? Oh.
Tapping didn't.
Okay. How about now? Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nope.
There's no other mics. I'm all out of mics.
Nothing better than live.
But there's no mics when I'm here, right? Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine when you're on the Zoom screen.
Okay.
Yep. Your audio immediately gets higher quality and the echo goes away.
God. Okay, we gotta let people in. Sorry about that. Everybody watching, you're coming in right now. Promise. Don't worry. I'm gonna go over the hour, and we started a little bit early too. So I got one more thing to try. Sorry, because we kind of have to get this working. So let me. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, it's a Sony Canon.
That's a nice background, Don.
Oh, thanks.
I just put one on order.
Yeah, okay, I'm unmuted. Yeah, I've got a buddy hacks coming, so I am very happy.
Yeah, you won the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ordered one of those when we were at the camp out.
Well, I've been talking to Matt about getting on the list for 2 years now. So, but I sent an email to Chris in January, and so he is getting them out in about 4 months.
Yeah, that's about what they told me when I put my name on the list.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the audio. Okay, one last check here, and then I'm gonna figure something else out. That's not the right one. How about now? Is it still echoing? 1, 2, 3. Test.
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me, man. That is messed up.
Sounds good here, Josh.
Yeah, it's all the people on YouTube. It's echoing for them for some reason, and I don't know why. Because like literally, I'm looking at the audio mixer panel, and there's like nothing there, which I don't understand. I sound like, oh god. No, because
by checking your sources.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the sources for the audio mixer, and everything else is muted. There's nothing there, so it's kind of odd.
There's like, I hear background noise when you hear it in YouTube. It's like something, like a fan or something going on. So I don't know.
Do you have a source set up as like a webcam, like a specifically camera capture?
It should
Or
all
go to an audio cable.
Oh, this thing's all honked up. I see what's going on.
It's like, what, you wanted to live stream tonight?
I just don't know why we've had this problem, because the scene is actually not a new scene, it's just a different camera pointed at it. Unless it's that camera? Oh, let me do one more tap. Hold on.
Let me unmute YouTube.
Was that the tappy tap?
Yep, that's the tappy tap.
Oh, it's tappy tap? Oh, no way. Get out of here. All right, so we removed the mic Let's see if the echo improves or is gone.
Echo's still there,
gone.
but the background noise went away.
That's hilarious.
So it's still picking up from that camera area now. It's just not as sensitive.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So does it have a built-in mic?
I think I know what the problem is. Hold on. Okay, is that any better? You can actually see my board right here. This is the audio board. So that's,
yeah, I was going to say.
that's the Zoom, and that's me talking right there, and everything else is dead. That's funny. Is it is it gone?
Nope, still echoing, just not as bad.
Okay, one last thing. What the hell?
Is there anybody that's not on the Zoom that would be catching it on YouTube? Because it doesn't show up as a available YouTube on your channel.
Yeah, it
Post
should
on
be.
the Discord.
It's posted on Patreon. The link. Yeah, because I made that mistake too. I was looking on YouTube and I'm not seeing it. Oh, okay. Because it's private.
Yeah, it's private. Well, it's unlisted. Oh, it's
Yeah.
fine now? Everybody says it's fine?
Yeah, it's barely noticeable.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's still there, but it's like definitely not anywhere noticeable. Really. It just sounds like you're speaking in a stadium, kind of.
Mm.
I wonder, can I actually do this live? Let me see. Uh-oh. One last thing, and then I'm getting on with it. I get freaked out with audio stuff, as you guys know, because it's already a pain in the butt to do all this. Okay, for most of this, we're just gonna be off in here anyway. Okay, so first, thank you so much. It looks like the votes are moving. So, by the way, the poll is for what I should make the live stream this Saturday. I'll post it after we're done. The other thing, so the getting my my gear sorted out is one thing. I can do that another time, though. You don't necessarily need the sausage making, but some of you may like that. I don't know. And then the other is talking about field day preps, and we got Austin's actually in here, so that's a fun little talking point we can have there, so you guys can know the secret, the super secret squirrel about San Clemente and what we're doing.
Does my background give it away at all?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody picked that up, where that where potentially that shot is from. Maybe we'll just talk about that and give everybody the inside scoop, and you can pretend, you can be like, oh, what? Oh, I'm so surprised.
Yeah, I've only ever lobbed 5-inch shells at San Clemente.
So I've told a couple of people at work. They're like, "Oh, so you're gonna be gone?" I have that Friday off, but on Monday, I'm gonna be off on Monday too. And I'm like, "Say, so I'm gonna be out. Just I'll have my work phone, but FYI." And they're like, "Oh, what, you doing something fun?" I'm like, "I'm going to San Clemente Island," and I say it like that, and then most people are like, "Okay, that sounds cool." And then every once in a while, you get a dude who looks up and goes, "Where? Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going to San Clemente Island." He's like, "How?"
Right.
that's
like, how are you
that's always
getting
the
there?
follow-up question. How? And I'm like, "Oh,
Swimming.
Biden's flying me out. It's care of the Navy. I'm a special guest of the Navy. The Navy SEALs are not the boat crew. The boat crew is driving me up. We're gonna do a beach landing." And I'm like, "Oh, it's a ham radio thing." They're like, "Oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to know anymore." So we don't have to go into any details, Austin, other than Austin it will be going with us, or is, I don't know how much down the rabbit hole you want to go. So we can just say you're there. You're part of the group.
Yeah.
But we'll be operating from San Clemente Island, which you guys know now. But part of the reason why I was pushing so hard to get the SARC track working was because we're bringing that, and we're going to be doing a lot of 6 meters, hopefully, with the willingness of the Spectrum. And I'm also dragging out the Buddy Hex. So between the couple of people that are going, it should be we're going to have all the tools in the arsenal to really make a go at it.
Should be pretty fun.
Yeah, are you on 6? Are you going to use the Buddy Hex? Or
No. There's
No.
a much better antenna than the Buddy Hex.
Yeah, I have a 6-element loop fed array that's about 20-ish feet. So, and it's about 25 feet up in the air.
It's a loop? They're loops? It's
Well,
stacked
it's-
loops?
No. It's I don't really know how to describe it.
Is it a quad?
Here. No. I'll
Mm,
let me see if I can find it.
I think I know what it is.
So I did-
Oh, the loop is on the top, and then the rest of them are horizontal elements.
I did order a 4-element Yagi just so I could log you on 6 meters.
It's all horizontal. So
Got it. Oh, hey, Nick is hanging out with George from Pactena. That's super cool. Heck yeah. Is this popping? Where's the Papa lock in? There it is. Hanging with George from Pactena. Very good.
Yeah.
That should be fun. That should be a lot of fun.
James from Quirky QRP is on car right now.
Oh, is that who I'm stepping on? God, it's almost impossible to find a time that I'm not stepping on somebody. So,
Well, and Dave starts at 8 o'clock, right?
oh my God, yeah, it's really difficult.
Yeah. Well, Dave steps on car, so it's all good.
Well, I mean, he used to not. I mean, he was by himself on Thursday, but
Right.
Yeah, Dave's been out there for a long time.
yeah.
Okay, car ended. All right, so no disrespect to any. I was looking at the days, and I'm like, I got to do a Friday or Thursday,
Mhm.
and then Friday this week, of course, is the quiz Friday with Jason, and then you've
Kyle.
got Kyle, and then Jason has his happy hour, so it's like,
Yeah,
geez.
happy hour.
Yeah, between
I've,
after this, I'm going to do the podcast, and then tomorrow is Bring Your Kid to Work Day, so I've got Ben with me at work, and then I'm going to come home, and I'm going to try to do Kyle's thing, and I'm going to try to do Jason's, and I'm still trying to edit a video. I cranked on that short today just so I could put out a video, but man, there's a lot going on. Next week's going to be even crazier.
I posted the antenna in the Zoom group chat.
Oh, good. Let me pull that up real fast.
I think I've seen it.
Hey, Josh, are you still looking for a Motorola service monitor?
I might be. It depends on the price.
I'll just send you one.
Oh yeah, then yes, then yes, I am.
Oh,
We just cleared out the shop at work, so
Oh, look at that bad boy. 6-element. So why did you say loop fed? What does that mean?
at the very back of it, there's a loop.
Oh, okay, got it. Got it. There's a better shot of it. Oh yeah, that's a bad boy.
Mhm.
How far have you gotten out with that thing, Austin?
So for the VHF contest this weekend, I got Ireland and England from the island. So
Wow.
That's it.
Fraud.
yeah,
yeah,
Holy
Josh, I've
smokes.
and that
got
was,
a R2021B, which is the last Motorola service monitor that supported single sideband.
Oh. Yes.
yeah, and I made both of those contacts on only 100 watts too, because it was before I set up the amp for that day. So
Well, the guy in our club that does all the 6 meters, he only has a dipole at the top of his house. And from Texas, he's getting Guam, JAs all over the place. He just kills it on 6 and just with a dipole.
So
yeah,
here's.
I haven't.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I haven't actually like pointed my antenna towards the west at all to try to get Japan or Australia yet on 6 meters, but I'm sure it's definitely possible.
You got all those Fred Fish guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got a point over here.
Yeah, so much of it is just plain opening.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it turns out that the map you're looking at here, that was my results with the hot dog antenna. Believe it or not,
Very
on
nice.
6 meters. Got all the way out to Florida with the hot dog antenna. Now, those were not contacts necessarily, but they were people that heard me, which
Yeah.
I'll take that as a win on a. It was just the vertical 17-foot, adjusted for 6 meters. That's
Are
pretty
you
good.
sending them all hot dogs?
No. But I should. Yeah, so everybody that's watching and they get this weird echo. Wait, you're not hearing the echo now on YouTube, are you? It should be gone. It's only when it's on that stupid that wide display, and I don't know why yet.
Nope, it's back on that display.
It's on this display?
Yeah, I just unmuted, and it's coming in on that one.
So just mute YouTube.
What the ever-loving crap is going on, man?
It's not terrible, but it is there.
I will likely pull this video down, and when we're done, I'll privatize it, and I'm going to re-upload it with just the members only, and then I'm also going to try out the Patreon video. So Patreon apparently now has a video service they're trying to hawk to people, so I'm just going to upload this over there. What the hell? Let me check the properties on this guy really fast. Yeah. It's going to drive me nuts.
We're gonna have to go play Find the Echo later.
Can't wait till we see how many problems we have on the island with live streaming.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have all kinds
You're
of
putting a
There
problems.
won't be
Starlink
any.
A
display.
separate video in and of itself.
Yeah.
Virtually none.
Hopefully
When I
not.
say
Yes,
none,
hopefully.
probably 5 or 6.
Probably all of the problems. What if we do that? Does that change anything? I don't know. Oh, the joys of live stream. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Echo went away with that.
did it really?
Yep.
It's gone. How about here? Is it gone again? It's gone? The echo's gone?
It's basically gone. Like, you have to really listen to tell.
Okay. So for all you audiophiles, join us on the Zoom call that was posted on the YouTube post or on the Patreon post. And I saw this when I was about to go live. If I how do I can get right on the microscope when I was looking at that camera. Okay. Very good. Well, everybody, thanks again for hanging out. Appreciate it. I don't have a particular direction. Like I said, I can start fooling around with all kinds of stuff. In fact, I've got a list of things that I got like a to-do list that I got to work for field day. But I don't know. Again, those are all kind of like things that I can do on my lonesome. I don't know if anybody cares about that. Does anybody have like some problems they want to discuss or anything big or interesting? Otherwise, I can also, I've got a wealth of gear, things I'm testing right now. Obviously, you probably saw the Tough Pad. That's doing something. Oh no, it's dead. It's fully dead. Did it die?
No,
Does that replace the crap top?
No, not at all. No, it depends. If I was going to be operating in the pouring rain, then yes. But seldom. So I'll be using this with the TX500. Well, I'll wait till it rains, and then I'll do just an activation where it's only raining. I'm standing out in the middle of the rain with this and the TX500, and I'll see if I can make a contact. The problem is the USBs they'll have to be waterproofed. I love Gaston, I do. But I think this is like way too far down the high speed low drag side. Like I almost want to have like a quarterback sleeve that I put on my arm to put this thing on. It does look good though. I will give him credit on that. Like as far as a small tablet goes, it's actually. Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Is that Android or is that like the Windows Surface?
That looks like Windows.
No, it's just full-blown Windows.
It's just
Yeah, it looks like it's Windows. Yeah.
it's Windows
It's 10.
OS. It's
Okay. So,
it's 10 exactly. It's 10.
and it's not 12 volts either, right?
It is not. So see, that's the thing that I don't think these hardcore prepper guys really understand. They think that it's just going to be a 2-hour engagement. It's a 3-hour tour and then they go home. That's not my reality. My reality is I need to be power indiscriminate.
Yeah, even if I'm in the field, I don't want USB-C chargeable. I would prefer that everything charge off 12 volts.
Right. Yes, Don. You are anointed in the in the world. Yeah, see, so the battery's already going to die on this thing. So, it is old ass technology, and because of that, it's like it doesn't last very long. The power really doesn't last very long. The battery's not very big. I do give it credit that the screen is really bright, and again, like you're looking at, I don't even know how big the screen is. 7-inch, about 7 inches, I would call it for a tablet.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of refresh issues, but like the quality of it is actually really good.
It
Like,
looks good.
you can totally use this in the middle of broad daylight, and you
That's
can
good.
see all the control. Even though it looks really tiny on the screen, you can totally see them in person. And
Mhm.
JS8 call on screens this size is usually complete garbage. So it's actually pretty damn impressive. For that, I give it high marks. It doesn't beat. Speaking of that, I'll give you guys all the inside track. I was alerted to another crap top, not a Jankopotamus, a crap top, and this is actually a good option if you can find this. So we talked about the gateway a while ago, right? The touchscreen gateway.
Yeah.
So Gateway actually made a Maestro clone, or I don't know who had it first, but this is way better than the Maestro. Way better. So one, no creaky. Like, no creaks. It's not at all it's not at all creaky like the other one. The keyboard is actually very, very good. It's a very good keyboard.
Which processor does it have?
It's also a Celeron.
Yeah, but which one?
I could look it up in a second. And the the touchpad, which is the big problem with that stupid Maestro, is much better. It is so much more usable. So the unit is, and I'll let you know what it is right here, so you guys can go look it up and see if you can buy it. I actually bought this as a refurb off of Walmart's website, and I bought it for $50.
Oh, jeez.
So
damn, that's good.
Yeah, so it's basically the old Maestro prices, but it's a resale, right? It's a return.
Okay.
So I don't know if. So here's my problem: is I made that video on the Maestro and it took off, and everybody went and bought them all, and I was like, okay, great, they'll make more of them, and then everybody's going to be happy with this. Even at $100, it's not a bad deal. I was like, okay, great, wonderful, good times. The problem is that like they stopped selling them; they're gone, they're vaporware. So I've been looking for another computer that is like this, and this is the closest one I found, and it's better.
Yeah.
It's better than the Maestro. So if you can find it, so here's your heads up before I make a video or do something on this.
Walmart's already showing out of stock.
Yeah, Walmart's out of stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the hunt continues.
I've been replacing all of my Raspberry Pis with 12-volt NUC style stuff, B-Link and all of that off of Amazon.
I like
and
it.
They're cheaper right now. I mean, I bought one literally the other day for $79. And then the reason I ask about the processors is I'm paying attention to the processors. And they have 5,000 and 6,000 versions of those processors that are much faster than the Jankopotamus. 3,000, I think, is what it is. And so I've probably bought 5 or 6 of them in the last couple of months.
The problem is so Don, how do you go about like taking it portable? You basically have to have a bunch of.
It's not for portable.
Okay.
Like I'm replacing the Raspberry Pis that I have in my shack because I've gotten fed up with all of the little dongles or whatever.
Oh, right.
I can just plug that into my power or get a 12-volt PDU and stretch out one of my power supplies.
I love that because you can network them all together and you can have just like a tablet and run around and just VNC into it. The thing is I'm looking for the best ham radio laptop.
Right, I get that, and
that's
totally
cheap. I
you
want
need
cheap.
The keyboard, the mouse, the
Right.
monitor, and with these you don't get that. But I'm getting them for like extra machines in the shack. I've got an NTP server and DNS and Pi-hole and all that stuff, and I've moved them all over to these things.
So Wolfhound says, Joshua Fletcher says, do I ever personally give ham exams? I do not. If you are interested in taking your exam, there is a HRCC VE team, And you can go to testing questions, I think, on our Discord. Let me double check that.
Yep, it's testing questions.
Yeah, go to testing questions and talk with the folks there and get yourself lined up. It's not that I don't want to. I just realized, like, time-wise, I can't add that commitment on top of doing the videos and all that other stuff. I want to get you in the door, and then I want some other folks to take you the rest of the way.
Yeah, they'll get you. Once you get set up, somebody will let you know when it would be a good time to test if you can. So you'll be fine. Yeah.
Any recommendation? Oh, so this is a good one for everybody in the room here. Any recommended brands for a ham shack desk?
A door on top of 2 filing cabinets. I'm serious. That's what I've got right
here. Yeah.
If you have like a used office furniture place, I've been able to find like these push button, memory raising standing desk, and those things come as a set of legs, and then you can choose the length of the top. So I'm getting ready to go buy 2 more 6-footers to replace what I've got in here, but those have been a good option.
You can also get cheap, like from like countertops.
Yeah,
I was just
like
going to mention that.
and stuff, and just add legs to
them. Well, that's kind of what I've got right now. Is I built this, but it's on a wall mount bracket, like the super heavy duty wall brackets. But I'm trying to get away from that. So I've got to cut the wall open in the next few days and install a K7FP entry panel. I've been sitting on. So I have to have everything set up by field day so I can get my Fred fish start.
Oh, you're going to try and do the San Clemente? Or you're going to try and...
Yeah, well, it shows San Clemente is like 80 miles east of me, but I'm East County, San Diego. So there's that big hill. I'm sure you went over it coming down to Ramona, but basically there's like a range about 20 miles inland. I'm on the east side of that. So we'll see.
Mount Woodson.
No, I'm south of Woodson. I'm south and west of Woodson. I'm in what's called the El Cajon Valley.
Okay, so yeah, you're talking about the range east of El Cajon, just east of El Cajon there, Fletcher.
East of range west of El Cajon and Santee, where the 52 goes over.
Okay,
right on the south edge of Sycamore Canyon in northeast Santee.
Hey Josh, are you planning to do any content or like actual videos on that XTS you got?
Oh yeah.
What you got planned?
I think I just want to explain to people how to get started with it. It's really not that difficult. I was shocked. So I do got that bad boy. So let's put it next to the tablet for reference. Huh. Okay. So obviously I grew up as a ham to the point where you still had to program it with like a DOS box, and obviously around this generation things changed significantly. But I programmed this with a USB programming cable that snaps on the side. The software, the CS software, whatever, is CPS software, was easier than DMR, but harder than like Chirp. But if you get front panel programmable and you get all your settings right, like on that bottom bar, you're good. You're good. Like it's really easy. It's really, really easy to use. Sounds fantastic too. That's the best thing. That on analog is possibly one of my best radios on just an analog repeater. No question. No question.
Yeah, and you've got it widebanded and everything?
I don't know that I have it widebanded. I don't know what that means exactly.
So back when the FCC came out with their narrowbanding for business band and I don't know what you call it, EMS and stuff, they limited it to 12.5 kilohertz bandwidth for FM.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what happened was Motorola didn't want to apply extra licensing to have it licensed for 25 kilohertz. So they get around it by making you go through this roundabout way of you put in a key and then that key enables something in the software that lets you make it wideband. So
I don't know. I'd have to do the 5 clicky thing on the two dot button to be able to know for sure if, like, from my flash code, as I'm told. I did send somebody multiple people. So by the way, for all the Motorola people that are watching, I have never had more people reach out to me about me getting a radio. I was shocked. I posted I think I posted a couple Instagrams and like a TikTok, and I have had my inbox blown up by people. It's like, I got all the software you need. You like they're like they got the Motorola trench coat on, and they open it up and they're like,
oh yeah,
I got everything you want. I got gigs and gigs. Sideboom was all over me. So many people are hardcore into this, but they're really actually like super excited that I just bought one, and they're like, yes, let me help you. Whatever you need. And Shane's kind of like my guy right now because he does literally everything with them. So I'm in good hands in that sense. But like it was very impressive when I showed video of that and people were like just going nuts. It was really cool.
You need some license keys? I got some keys.
I got some keys, dog. You got a fill device? I got a fill device.
Do any of y'all have Motorola mobile radios?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we use those in our
I do as well.
I have bins full of them.
I know that buddy, not a Rubicon, he's got one for sure. He's got a good one set up.
He's got the one with the military encryption chip in it.
And it's like 120 watt output or something.
It's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, a double knot spy to get that.
Oh, a double knot spy. That's right. You're gonna put your wash tub bulletproof protector on top.
Exactly.
And is there a Motorola way to get on 902 megahertz?
If you
yes.
spend a lot of money, open your wallet.
Yes, there is.
So
$12,000.
Yeah.
So there's a specific
Kenwood's
SKU of Motorola radios that are specifically made for 900 megahertz. Let me see. I think it's like 29 something. Basically anything that has 9. Model. Yeah.
Number 9.
Hold on.
So the short answer is yes, but it's
visual.
open your wallet. So like the thing with this guy is that XTS there, or sorry, ATX, sorry. That was $500 for me to get it refurbished with a battery and a drop-in charger.
Sorry, what I meant. So for that, you'd be looking at like an XPR 7580. Anytime you see 80 in the model number, that usually means it's a 900 meg radio.
Is that a handheld or a mobile?
That's a handheld. The mobiles, I believe you'd be looking at the 5,000.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
See, that's the thing. The Kenwoods are like $35 because they're most of them are cut out of police.
Yeah.
Right.
You see, though, Kenwood, I'm sorry, but Kenwood Business, they don't even compare to Kenwood Amateur. Like they're just trash, honestly. Like
you shut your mouth. You don't let John Crook hear you say that.
Oh, John Crook.
Those are his favorite radios, are Kenwoods.
Yeah,
I can verify that. We have them in our school buses at work, and they suck.
They suck. They suck to repair. Kenwood stopped making their own parts for them. Now they have a third party distributor
for their business radio, for their first responder radios.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
They work though.
I got to grab a glass.
They do, but when you're a Motorola shop and you get a handful of Kenwood radios across your desk, you're like, oh man, I did not.
I want to get on 900 megahertz, and I don't want to spend thousands of dollars to do it when you can do it for 30.
Don't you have a 9700?
Hell no. I'm not an ICOM guy. If I was going to do that, that flex radio you saw, it'll do everything and more that the 9700 will do, and a hell of a lot cheaper.
Don,
because I already have
digital, or do you want to stay analog?
Don, you have to buy transverters and a flex radio.
then you can do
Yeah, you
FCS.
do, but I've already got the
2000s.
radio. I've already got the radio. I've already got the transverters. So, but
Wait, I will say yes, there are Motorola mobiles for 900, but they are not cheap.
yeah,
I like
Well-
how Don, you're getting it back to you in the chat. They're like, "Oh, geez," says the man with the flex in the background, and now he switched it to an amp. Look at his background now.
I was gonna pull up the Onan because that's what I run most of the time.
Oh, he said on.
He said it. He said it. Now it's time. He said it. Now I have to do the thing. I'm gonna unbox the scotch.
You want me to talk about the Sun
Drink.
SDR DX, which Ape has now? Because I
Yes,
can get him
the
to buy it?
Kenwood Viking VP800 is pretty, but mind you, they stole the design from E.F. Johnson. So
It's not the Kenwood is a 941, I believe, 941 or 981, and they're about $35, and they work very, very well.
What did Ape buy? He bought a.
Huh?
What did
He
Ape
bought
buy?
a Sun SDR DX.
Which one's that?
I think that's the Russian one, isn't it?
Turn my background off and show you.
Is that
The problem with the 941 and 931, you'd actually have to replace the filters on the front end and as well as the caps for those Kenwoods. So
The guys in our
Not-
club are simply buying them, and there's a small programming that you do, and that's it.
right, you can do that, but the problem is you have the front end. You're gonna it's not gonna be wide enough to receive at the low end of 902.
It works perfectly.
Josh, wait till you get an Apex radio, and then you have
I'm not gonna spend the cost of a Hyundai on a handheld.
right. Then you have to download the 1.9 gigabyte CPS file. It's full of
All the
JPEGs of people, busy police officers. Like you open up the software, it's all splashed all over with those photos.
Virtual.
That is good, by the way. I didn't tell you. Hold on, I gotta grab the box.
I'm gonna.
So I bought the Dalmore.
Dalmore's good.
The Dalmar Highland Scotch single malt with Portwood Reserve. It's quite good. It's probably a little violation of the true single malt heads in the house, but yeah, there it is. It's pretty good stuff.
Dalmore makes good scotch though.
Josh, there's a Sun SDR DX.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the Zoom here. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Don.
Where are you?
Don, yeah, Don, your screen's off.
Your screen's off.
Yeah.
Well, I turn it on and it goes off again.
Your video's gone, Don.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of
Ooh.
like the Hermes, right? It's just
No,
the sun
that's a
version?
100-watt radio.
Oh.
It's
That's
a
an
full
expensive
SDR.
radio.
It's a full SDR, and that one actually includes 2 meters in it.
And it's a full $100,000.
No, these are about 1,800, I think.
Oh my God! Seriously?
Oh
Yeah.
wow, it's so.
I did
cheap.
not expect $1,800.
That's way
That's
cheaper.
what they
than
were. I don't.
$2,000.
I
they're
thought
supposed to be competing with the flexes.
The Flex when I bought it was 3,000. So I now they're up to like almost 5 or 6. So
I gotta give it to Smokin' Ape. He quietly spends a lot of money and nobody really notices. Like Signal, he's got an analyzer now, right? He's got a couple.
Siglant.
He's got no, not the Sig. Yeah, he's got the Siglant. He has something else too. The Spectrum analyzer. Now he's got a good SDR. Interesting. The Ape is upgrading. We have to be careful.
He went from 40 to 400.
That's how Planet of the Apes starts, I think.
Yeah, he spent $500 on a Nano VNA. He and Jim both did.
What?
All that and no license.
That Libra VNA that is on eBay, they spent $500 for that sucker.
And it's just a Nano VNA, basically?
Really nice screen.
It's a very, very nice.
Is it the bigger one?
No, the Libre is the screenless one. It's just a module you plug into your computer.
Yeah.
Oh.
At that point, just go buy a rig expert.
Yeah.
You won't.
The rig expert just makes things too easy.
So Jim was trying to sell me his.
It doesn't like easy.
He was offering his 6300 up for sale, and I ended up going online and buying a 64.
No, he got a 66.
Yeah, he's got a 66 coming. I bought a 64 with a antenna tuner, and that's for about a month out.
Yeah. Kyle just hit, Michael, the Flex Radio guy on the Flex Radio channel, just went in and produced a video that's very good that explains the differences between the 64 and the 66.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that the other day. I don't see me using the dual transmit at the same time. So
I do.
If you're going to be a real contester.
No,
I'm not a real contester.
I know, I'm just kidding.
You use it for like what I've got back here, right?
You
Yeah,
you rag chew while doing FT8 is the answer.
Well, you do 2 transverters in full duplex, and you got a satellite system.
You can QRM 3927 and 7200
I'll tell you what,
at
bud.
the same time.
I'll tell you what, bud. You do. You do. Okay, I can't. I'm channeling. I'm channeling Office Space right now. I'll tell you what, man. You do. You do.
If you're talking about slices, though, you know that the Hermes can do 11 slices. 11 slices.
Whose transverters are those?
They're a transverter store. The ones from the Ukraine. They're no longer available.
Oh,
get
that out of your head.
When the
You're
war,
like Adam, here, I'll show you this cool thing that I have that you can't get anymore.
Yep.
I'll show you something cool you can get. Are you abutting anybody that wants to do anything with social media? I'll show you a fast one. I found this tripod. Yes, this is a tripod.
All right.
Okay, ready? You hold the thing here, and then you push the bottom, and it opens.
Okay.
And it's a phone tripod, and it goes to like 5 feet tall.
It's not tall enough.
But it starts down, like you pack it down all the way.
Yeah, but it packs to nothing. How much was that?
Does it have the 7200 screw on it?
$40, and
Or
it
the
comes
705 screw?
with a Bluetooth little clicker thingy on.
40?
Yeah, it's really cheap. Yeah.
Okay, set up and take my money.
Yeah,
I need one of those.
I'll get a link.
I never knew that I needed one until.
Yeah, I didn't
now.
either. But when I was running the kids to that
to
their
big.
track meet stuff, I was just packing super lightweight, just in a little tiny backpack. And so I put the KX2 kit in there, or the 705 and something else, or I was taking the QDX. And I was like, I need something to put a camera on, because I'm not gonna bring a full size camera. So I just brought that, and I was like, oh, this is insane. This is perfect. It was actually pretty cool. So let me see if I can find it real fast.
I just found one very similar for $25 on Amazon.
Well, let me give you a link at least.
Like this.
Jeez.
It's like this one.
An affiliate link too.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
So backing up 2 things. What's the requirement for the cheap laptop? Like price range, and does it have to?
I like to keep it under $150 and 12 volts. That's what I think is the every ham's laptop.
Have you looked at the Pinebook?
No.
Slow.
It's yeah.
And
yeah. See, that's yes. So yes, I have. I almost bought a Pinebook. The problem with the Pinebook is you're going to be on Linux then.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of the nature of that beast.
That's not a problem.
It's not for most. Well, let me take that back. It's not for all hams, but most hams I think would have a problem with that. And so that's kind of been my item of contention, is that at the end of the day, it is $29. The Tone of 60-inch cell phone selfie stick tripod, blah blah blah, and it'll do selfie stick too. So hold on, let me grab the link here.
Josh, do you still have your LC 192 backpack?
I do.
You do. Do you still use it?
Occasionally.
Okay.
It depends on the setup or like what I'm trying to do. Because oftentimes with that, I want to run the 705 with external coax, and so I'll pack it that way. Sometimes the problem is that it's like you can't do much other than radio stuff with that backpack. It's designed for radio things. It's not like just a pit that I throw gear into and the radio's just in in the pit, if you will. It's kind of like how I use it is just like most of my backpacks are just big like gear tubes, and you shove everything in there, and they're little kitted up kind of bags, and that's kind of how I roll. The LC's very like for radio.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have one sitting next to me. I ride faster than my 705. So
so my biggest piece of advice, if you go down the road of getting that backpack, go get yourself a really cheap mobile SO239 mount, the lip mount ones, and screw that onto the plastic board on the side. That's what it's for. And then you route the coax behind all the padding in between the body of the backpack, and you're good.
because I did buy one of those, the WinCamp, the improved, what is it, BNC kind of, it like screws into the side of the radio and turns the BNC to SO239. So you can put the PL259 antennas right on it.
Right.
A little kickstand thing.
Yep.
And I was looking at a few videos, and it kind of looks like that little patch, Velcro patch at the top. It'll line up with that, so you can actually run an antenna straight through the backpack. Now, I know you couldn't do like an HF antenna. That'd be kind of impractical. Your SWR would be all over the place. But
right.
I think for VHF, UHF, it might actually work.
So, Josh, what is that scanner that you've got behind you?
That one?
I'm not seeing it, but
the Uniden SDX.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
SDS 200, right?
Yeah, it's the SDS 200. I've had that for years now.
Okay.
I did a video explaining how scanners work and how you can use Scanner Pro to set it up. It was a live stream. A lot of videos are coming out by other people that take a lot of stuff I've talked about and make them like 20-minute videos, and I guess I should start probably taking all my popular live streams and turning them into short videos. I'm assuming that's probably the way to go.
Don, if you like scanners, I just picked up a Unication G5 P25 pager. It's basically a glorified handheld scanner. It's really small, smaller than that one Uniden makes.
Yeah.
And you can get it tri-band as well. So it'll do UHF, VHF, and the 800, 900. Plus a DMR add-on for it.
Yeah. Well, the reason I got into radios was because my dad was a big scanner guy. And he would scan the police frequencies just all the time. That was kind of his thing. So that's how I got interested in radio.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. By the way, pagers for first responder type stuff is really cool because it is kind of like a receiver. It'll do all kinds of stuff. Nathan, M1A NAZ, sorry, K1 MAZ. Nathan, where are you? Are you in the chat? Are you in Zoom right now?
Yeah, I'm right here.
You said it's almost 3 for me. Where are you?
And I was the HRL behind me. Was 3 hours for me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to go. It's almost 3 a.m. Where are you?
Just Vermont.
Okay. I'm like, it's Nathan from Vermont. I know the time isn't that much difference there.
It's Coastal Wave and Wires Walt, who is in Poland right now.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Right on. All right. I stepped in the middle of a conversation you guys were having, so I apologize. All right. So yeah. Let's see, dude.
Thanks again, Josh, because I'll have my tripod by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, same.
Or is it the overnight? Are they shipping overnight now where you're at?
Between 4:30 a.m. and 7 a.m.
It's pretty cool. I was shocked because you can just take it too. You can just pull out. You can just selfie stick it too. You can just do the whole thing.
How long is it? How long is it elapsed?
60 inches, fully extended.
Now, who bought the purple one?
I did not buy the purple one because it was tempting.
It was
It
honestly
was tempting.
Honestly, I did not have that option when I bought it. I had the pearl white or the black. I like to buy really ridiculous colored stuff so people don't steal it. And I probably would have bought the purple one, to be honest with you. The purple one's cool looking.
I bought the black one so that it will blend in with all my other tripods.
There you
That
go.
way,
it won't be ostracized in the tripod community you're running.
No, actually, in my house community. It's like, what do you need another tripod for?
I bought the black one because it was the cheapest. $23. Come on.
$23. $23. I mean, it can't
be bad.
It's a tripod. I mean,
if you don't like it, throw it out.
So I'll tell you the big thing is while you're using it, if you're like in a high wind environment, don't fully extend it and expect it's going to hold your phone like perfect, because it'll start bobbing around in the wind. So you do have that going for you. It is a highly portable tripod. So it's basically a monopod almost with the legs. They don't spread out that far.
It's a great idea, then.
All right. What's everybody's plans for field day? So should we start? Buddy, everybody's answer is the buddy hacks are all just gonna buddy. So, hey, if everybody's rocking a buddy hacks at field day, it's gonna be a good field day. Because all the field days I go to, they're like, I put up a really long ass wire, and I'm just gonna tune the crap out of it until we're good. And I'm like, well, what if we put up the buddy hacks? And they're like, oh my god, we could hear everybody and talk to everybody. It was amazing.
I'll have to get one of those. I have buddy everything else. Might as well get a buddy hacks next.
Are you going to your local clubs thing again, Josh? No.
He's going to a club.
I am going to San Clemente Island. Austin is in the chat. I'll be going with Austin. He's the madman behind all this, and we're going to be rocking the buddy hex. What do you say? An 8-element 6-meter antenna?
6-element.
6-element. And then I'm going to bring I'm bringing the SARC track for doing satellite from one of the rarest grid squares in the United States.
Yeah. Now, here in Texas, it is very, very hot on field day, but we are going to the EOC and spending our field day in the air conditioning.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
So-
we normally put up like single or dual band verticals that are made like a DX Commander, but the guy that does it just runs wire up a mast and then 4 radials out for each one of the bands, and it works great. But I'm going to take the buddy hex this year and see if I can get them to use that too.
What's the temperature been like, Austin, on the island there?
It's been in about the mid 60s and then gets into the 50s at night.
Okay.
That's
But
perfect.
next weekend, we're supposed to have quote unquote high winds. It'll be sustained 15-mile-an-hour plus, and then gusts of up to like 28 miles an hour. So
We might not be able to fully extend that buddy hex, but we're gonna
Yeah.
guy the
Copter
crap
buddy
out of it.
hex.
We're gonna guy it out.
I think one time Matt A4MQ, his bent almost 90 degrees over and came back up. So it's pretty wind resistant.
Well, as long as it's guyed, it does okay. But yeah.
You have
So
to guide.
what else are you guys gonna do for field day? Anybody
My
doing
girlfriend wanted to do this Corgis on the Coast thing, so I'll be in Seaside, Oregon with Corgis on the Coast, and then there's going to be me with a mag loop and my QRP radio sitting in a chair doing some ham radio watching
radiating
the Corgis.
some corgis? What kind of corgi do you have?
She has, I don't know what kind she has actually. She has a cute Corgi. I have a Shiba Inu Chihuahua that just chills like this.
I was gonna say if you
So-
didn't have a corgi, you probably have a Shiba Inu or something, because those are the
Yeah,
most like
she has a
trendy
Corgi. I got
dogs.
like a Shiba Chihuahua mix that I'll have to dress up like a Corgi maybe.
There you go. Have a body extension, like an extra thing. What kind of? So is it 3-color or 2-color? Your girlfriend's corgi.
3.
Okay. So, okay. 3 colors are rarer. That was Charlotte. That was our
3, and it was the runt of the litter, so got all that going for it. But it's super cute
nice.
still.
Very cool. Yeah, I do like corgis. They're good dogs. Fun dogs.
And then at the vacation home we're renting out, I'll set up I got the Buddy Stick Pro, and I have the regular old Buddy Buddy Pole Deluxe, and then I still got the mag loop. So I have three antennas to fiddle around with there. See what happens.
Yeah, get on the air. What kind of radio are you running?
I have the G90 and the 6100 X6100. I sold my FT891 thinking I don't know when I'll be back because, like I said, I was working somewhere and I didn't have much free time.
Right.
Now I regret selling it, getting back into it. I want that radio back.
Yeah.
It's a nice radio.
That would be nice for those antennas. Not the mag loop as much, but the other ones for sure.
Yeah, the full 100 would be nice, especially here because I'm in the middle of Seattle, so I got a porch here I can set up on the first floor. Still got some QRM, and then when I feel like maybe dealing with or explaining myself to my neighbors, I'll set up the mag loop on the roof. But that's about it for the roof because I don't want to be liable for anything falling over when I'm out there operating.
Yeah, there you go.
But the mag loop works surprisingly well up there. I worked Russia and Italy on 5 watts. And I was
only
surprised.
like 20 feet from you, though, right?
I have to do the distance. I think it's a little bit further than that.
You mean you can't
Japan
see Russia
close,
from
though.
your house?
Exactly. Should be able to walk to there. Come on. You know.
Maybe if I was in Alaska.
That's it. There you go. That was the right way to respond to that. That was the right way. Correct. Correct answer. Good job. Anybody else?
Take a hike down the Bering Straits.
That's it. Anybody else? Where you guys? What are you gonna do for field day? Anything?
Yeah, I'll be with my club. We're out. It's a place called Drexel Lodge Park. We'll probably have about at least 3 dipoles set up. We have it's club antennas, and one guy he brings I think it's a 6-meter Yagi or a 2-meter Yagi. I can't remember if he shows up on that Saturday. So you have to use about 4 or 5, usually about 5 radios, and they said bring some toys, so I might bring my random wire in that hopefully do some FT8 from there. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else? Anybody doing something fun and interesting and cool?
You mentioned satellites. I got the aero antenna in my car trunk. I should set that up again.
You know, you get 100 contacts, 100 points just for one satellite contact on field day.
That's it. We have a guy who has an arrow. Yeah, he does that, so he'll be doing that. Hopefully, working on that.
That was always my favorite. Like one of my favorite. It's just the story you concoct in your head. Is like there was a club that was saying it's like we got this guy and like we're all out there hammering contacts. You know, we'll be out there all night working contacts. And he rolls up and he has a little attaché case and he starts clamping things together and he builds up this, contraption and he points it to the sky and he's there for 15 minutes and he makes a contact and then he leaves. And we get 100 points.
That's what we used to have. And then now our club trustee rolls up in his truck, and in the back of his truck, he has the full satellite set up with the
dual element, dual antenna.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
And he connects it up to his computer, and he sits there and makes a satellite contact, and then he pulls it all down. And actually, the way he did it last year was he did our club, and then he left and drove 60 miles north and did it for another club.
Oh, see, that's cheating now.
And there's me holding up the arrow on the beach. Just, I think I got it.
I think I've got a picture of his truck. But...
You need that azimuth L, that what is it, SART track or whatever?
Are you bringing that to the island, Josh?
If we can fit it, yeah.
That did seem pretty cool.
He's going to exceed his weight limit.
So I'm holding it right here. This is it, minus the antenna. This is the whole thing. It's just a tripod. I'm gonna take the toppy bit part off and bag it up.
You should ship some of that stuff out there ahead of time.
I don't know how that all works.
That sounds a little sketchy.
That's just a post office. You just gotta send it to San Francisco.
Not to San Clemente. That's in San Diego.
No, it's Fleet Post Office.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then it goes into the military system and gets lost for a month.
Right. So, Austin, do you have any Marines on that island? Should I be worried? Should I bring crayons?
I think we had some out there this past week. We also had a drone out there this past week, and then I think we had a bunch of Buds guys land too.
Are you full time on the island?
Full time, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, because like I said, the guy I knew that he was going out there occasionally, but I think he was like an Airedale or something.
I'm there for roughly 15 days out of the month, so.
Oh, okay. Is that sea duty?
Nope, considered shore duty somehow.
Oh, they got you, Austin.
Yeah, they got me all right.
They got
that's
those
for sure.
civvies, man. They got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the hospital ship is considered sea duty, but it never goes anywhere. The Mercy. Actually, the Mercy's got its own call sign.
My daughter was stationed. My daughter was stationed on the Mercy.
When?
2 years ago, a little bit over.
Yeah. I was stationed on there from 97 to 2003.
Yeah, my she's a head and neck surgeon.
Mark, did you and Austin talk shop when we were camping about all this?
Not really. I didn't know he was out there on site.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, you guys had a golden opportunity to like talk about all this stuff.
Yeah,
So
we did have some.
So yeah, Mark and Austin both went to the camp out. So did Brooks. Brooks is right kind of between both of them. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We'll do that again, assuming, I call it mommy memory drugs. Assuming Leia, forgets all the planning she had to do. We'll do it again next year.
Belinda said she did too much work.
What's that?
Belinda said she did way too much and she needed to
Leia does that to herself. See, this is the thing I always say about Leia is like, Leia, we can just do hot dogs and simple things and no one's going to get upset. We're all camping. Or we could do like a potluck thing. And she's like, no, I want to cook. And then all of a sudden we got 3 ovens. 3 ovens at the campsite. And like, she's got a charcuterie. It's not even a charcuterie plate anymore. It's a charcuterie multi-trough system that she's worked out. Like it just, there's no like normalcy. It's always Spinal Tap 11 and break the knob off, or she's not doing it. And it's like, we got to find the balance, sweetheart.
Belinda's like that. Belinda was having a hard time not helping her. Belinda's like, I want to do something.
I mean, yeah, next time feel free to jump in. But I mean, even then, Leia's going to be like, it's okay. I got it. Let me do it. It's like, sweetheart,
no, I got it.
Like, we're going too hard. Most of these guys just want an easy cheese and Ritz, okay? Like, we're getting too complicated.
Or like you said, a hot dog.
I mean, you cook some sweet-ass hot dogs. Yeah, it went out really well. And, it was a lot of fun. So, see, this is why, COVID happened in between, but I don't know if that would have changed anything. It's just, you got to give Leia enough time to when we can do it again.
Can you get a motorhome in there?
Motorhome. I don't know about a motorhome, but a Polar. A lot of people brought trailers. We had trailers out there. Mark had a trailer.
I had a
fifth wheel
F-350 with a slide-in Lance camper.
Oh, you don't call that a trailer?
I'm talking
Sorry,
about
am I not speaking the right parlance?
I'm talking about like a small bus.
No, you could get a small bus in there. I've got a crew cab, long bed F-350 with a Lance.
But is that a fifth wheel or a tow behind trailer? What would you call that? I didn't notice.
It's tow behind.
No, mine I was parked right next to Adam.
Oh, that's okay. That's right. It was another guy who had the trailer.
Yeah, somebody brought in a bumper pole.
It was
Heather
and
that was it.
Her husband. Yeah.
No, you could get something like that in there.
Yeah. I don't even know if we can go back there again next year. We'll see.
We have to reserve that like a long time in advance.
No, it's not that. It's that they don't necessarily want to do campouts anymore. They were like, we're not really going to do campouts or anything like that. They're real cagey with it until you're like, hey, no, yeah, we want to come out. Let's do this. And they're like, oh, okay. All right, let's do it. We ran into the septic tank issue, right? So in the future, all the dudes just have to use as much of the restroom in the bushes as we can. If that makes sense.
I have my own with the truck, so.
All right. can I talk about? What are we going to talk about?
Hey, Jeff,
looking at
work VHF while you're out there.
Say again. What was that?
Are you going to be working VHF also while you're out there?
Well, we'll be doing 6 meters, and I'll have the arrow antenna, which is a beam, so we can probably give 420 a go. Just point it,
I also have a base station antenna for 2 meters and 70 centimeters that's out there. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put up the. I've got the 11 element that I brought up in Thomas Mountain, so I'm going to set that up here on top of the house and set it up for horizontal, whatever you guys are running.
You shouldn't have a problem. That should be fine.
Hey, Josh, what call sign are you going to be using for field day?
That is a great question. Austin, did we decide on what call sign we're going to use?
Yep, we're going to be using the Islands call sign. It's Kilo November 6, Uniform Whiskey Kilo.
Uniform
Kilo November 6, Whiskey November Kilo. Okay.
Wait, say that again. Did I say it wrong?
Kilo November 6, Uniform Whiskey Kilo.
There you go.
Are you guys doing HF too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Figured.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have made the decision whether or not we're going to go all night, but we're going to be trying to hit all bands, so, or at least as close as we can get.
Have you got some sort of schedule planned out? No.
No.
So, will y'all be there in time to set up before field day starts, or?
Yeah. So everyone's flying out on Friday, so.
Is that how you're getting on the island by plane? Is there landish? Okay, cool. So, all right.
Biplane specifically, yes. Biplanes. We're flying with biplanes.
You're going old school.
It's not a far stretch.
Very old school.
Very old school. Very old school.
Sure, you don't want Carlos to come out there and do a jump, right?
Exactly.
Only if he's going to bring me a parachute, just in case.
Well, no, he could be the one jumping. Y'all could just watch.
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I don't think they'll let us do that though, Elston, right?
I was wondering how many points would you get for Carlos's jump?
Well, it has to be during field day. It doesn't.
What's what I mean. It's like have it done during field day.
Wait, he should do that. I gotta message him after this actually and be like, "Do you understand how many points you could run like doing field day from Parachute Mobile?" We got all kinds of bonus points racked up for that bad boy.
Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna have at least so I don't have the bandpass filters or the pentaplexer or anything like that for the Buddy Hex. At the same time, I don't know that we have the weight capacity to carry that all out to the island if I did have it. So we're gonna have at least go ahead. Was that you, Austin? Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. So we do have several bandpass filters. We don't have any multiplexers, unfortunately. I tried getting my hands on one and I couldn't. But we were able to get our hands on several bandpass filters, so we'll be able to have multiple antennas set up and be able to operate.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. So so at least the couple 100-watt units that we'll have up and running will be going. I'm gonna be probably nursing the satellite station, if not running, whatever. I'm happy to jump in wherever. And then we've got the 6-meter antenna. We're going to try and make as many contacts as we can on 6.
Mm-hmm.
The Buddy Hex can do 20 through 6 basically. So we'll be using it 20 through 10 realistically.
Yeah. And who's running the FT8 station?
We might all be running FT8.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of FT8 because I mainly run FT8 on 6 meters. One of the other guys mainly does FT8 on just all the regular HF bands, and I'm sure Josh and Adam. Well, Adam's probably gonna be doing CW most of the weekend.
So we do have a CW guy. Adam is going. That was a very good pull that we got Adam to come, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I usually run the FT8 station, and I kill our CW guy in terms of points.
Do you really? Because usually that's not the way it is. CW is a little bit faster for contacts on field day.
It should be, but
it should be.
Yeah, I think he's complained about. Oh, I know. Yeah, that's it. It's noise from the other bands or from the other bands. He has a tough time hearing.
It's that
So,
damn FT8 station that prevents me from making all the CW contacts.
yeah, I mean, FT8, but usually I'm on 10 or 6 or something like that. So I try to stay away from the higher bands. But then and they're usually on 20 or 40, but 20 kills 40. And we have bandpass filters. It is what it is.
Well, you can do like a coax stub filters when you're for a field day.
Yeah, we actually have bandpass filters, quite a few. And the good DX engineering ones. So
Yeah, that company's like gone now. You can't even get anything through them.
what?
DX engineering?
DX engineering?
No, the company that was making the ones for DX engineering.
Really?
Yeah. What is it? LBF or something like that?
The ones that had like the silver case with like
Yeah.
the slots on the side, like
Yeah,
those guys are gone.
Yeah, they're like gone. Like you
Oh.
can't do anything on their website anymore. Except look at everything that you can't get.
Right. That was the first place I went to. I'm like, I need the whole suite
Yeah.
of gear.
I
Like
need
it's
one
all the
of
gear,
each.
and they're like, it's all gone. Like,
Well,
okay.
they're supposedly bringing their hex beam back. Why I don't know, but
That's an interesting market right now is hex beams. Like there's so many end feds, and I feel like with end feds, like it's not a big deal to buy one, buy many kind of thing. Like, you know, it's a couple $100, you know, whatever. Or a kit, it's less than 100, you build it yourself kind of thing. But like hex beams, there's so much competition in the hex beam market right now. And if it's not portable, like there's only a couple that you'd look at. But for portable, everybody wants the buddy hex. The line is, you know, out the door.
yep. And the one I ended up with, the NA4RR, it's really well built. And I get what Jason's talking about on that VHQ whatever, but at 3 times the cost, I could not justify it. For our weather patterns, I just can't. I can't see me spending that much money.
The problem with that VF, you know, the one that he's all going to the Hamfest now is it's super robust. The problem is that it's really, really heavy.
Yes,
And
45 pounds.
And now you're going to have a so that, by the way, the 45 pounds is the top end of the Yaesu 450 rotor, which is kind of like the entry point for a rotor.
Yeah.
It's like right there. And at that point, it's like, well, shoot, I'm going to blow that out after a couple of years, and I'm going to have to like upgrade to something else. At the same time, I now have my Step IR 3 band on that same rotor. It still works fine. So it depends on how you set it up. If you have a good thrust bearing, by the way, if everybody's going down this road, the word of the day is, or 2 words of the day is thrust bearing. The thrust bearing is the thing that takes all the load out of the weight of the boom coming down on it. You jam all those nuts into the side of it and lock nut it down, and then that way it's not slamming the weight on the rotor, so the rotor has to turn it. The rotor should be like free spinning almost, right? So even if you took like a really, really heavy antenna, but you put it on a rotor that had like no weight applied to it and it just needed to rotate it, it'd actually do pretty well in the long distance. And that's really the reason why mine has lasted so long, is that I have a really good thrust bearing.
Yeah. Is it a Yaesu?
It's about slamming those nuts.
It's about never slam the nuts. Let me tell you, they won't rotate nothing if you slam them.
Right, but then they become free spinning.
Do you have a Yaesu thrust bearing, or is it who makes it?
Oh God, I built that years ago. I don't even remember what thrust bearing I went with. It might be. It's not. I don't think it's MassWorks. It's another company. I think I spec'd it all out off of DX Engineering though.
Yeah.
You can also build those with.
I got an 800 DXA rotator, so it's more heavy duty than the 450, but it's not quite the 1000 either. But
503 Nick says, I'm literally climbing a 120-foot tower by the end of summer to
No.
replace those thrust bearings. So,
Okay.
Nick, let me ask you a question. How do you replace a thrust bearing? Do you have like a cherry picker or a crane to lift the whole assembly off to replace it? Because how else do you swap them out? I don't know how you do it. I don't get it. In my head, it doesn't make sense.
You'd have to lift the antenna off.
You have to, right? You got to take the whole assembly off.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd rather have a tower that folds over.
Well, I've got a gin pole with no tower.
Yeah. Well, I bought for the hex beam. I got a mast. I'm not going to put up a tower.
Oh, Nick said it. He's got a gen pole. He said the magic words.
Yeah.
I think it's GIN, isn't it?
It might be, but
yeah.
I've got one.
Yeah. So,
Those were dad's,
so what are you doing? You're swapping off to the other pole? You pull it off and put it
No,
on
so
the
gin pole, you know how a gin pole works, right?
Not exactly. Go ahead.
So it's got this big, massive clamp.
Oh,
the tower, and then it's a pole with a pulley that goes up, and you hook it on, and then you can use that to lift something up, and then it'll hang by the rope on the gin pole. You can do your work, swing it back over, put your antenna back in. It's to lift stuff on a tower.
that is frightening.
And when you're building a tower, that's
At
how
120 feet up? Oh my God.
I've used one at 70 feet, and I was like, I was the lightest because I was like, 15 years old. So I climbed up.
You were self-nominated.
Yeah, I was the one dumb enough.
That would be a hard no.
Yeah. They use gin poles to put up tower sections. So
yeah, that's how they do it.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had a 70-foot round 25 with, I want to say, 2 sets of guys. Because I always remembered having to mow around them in the backyard.
What were the guys' names? Bob and Toby?
Our directions to find our house was just look for the tower. I've got an old picture around here somewhere when they went to take it down. They had a crane. He used a crane to take it down after, because I'd moved out, so his cheap labor joined the Navy and left.
Can you tell me why you put up a 120-foot tower? I mean, really?
Because you got to.
Well, no, because I
But
mean,
you
a hex beam up to 20 meters, you really only need about 35, 40 feet. You don't need much
It was
more.
available.
And if you get it up higher, you start creating lobes and nulls, and you don't want nulls. So unless you're going to stack them, if you're going to stack them, the reason you stack arrays is because you want to make the null or the lower antennas will null out or will act within the nulls of the other antennas. So it eliminates the nulls. That's the reason you go.
You want a homogeneous propagation zone that they all work in.
But other than that, I can't see it putting a tower up that high. Wow.
For what, were they running 40 off of that height or something like that?
What?
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. Never mind. We'll
Is it quarter wave or half wave you want an antenna to be up?
Right. Half wave.
Yeah, I always have to look that up.
But they're effective at quarter wave.
Yeah.
I'm living proof because mine is way too low.
I've got a DX commander and I've got you in the logs on 40. But I think I shoot right over you.
I did actually hear you in England once.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very good. So, yeah, but I mean, that's if I'm probably aiming due north almost.
I've got like
over the
one
top.
English contact. And I aim my antenna by putting it in the yard. It's a DX commander.
Oh, no, you're right. I do remember that, actually. I remember that live stream where we were like, was it when I was live?
When I talk, yeah. I was sat on a hill.
Yeah.
And I put up the quarter wave. It was on it was about like 3 a.m. my time, and I was just sat on a hill, and I was on the stream going, "Yeah, I got you. I can hear you, and I can hear you. You were right down in the mud, but I could copy you."
Oh man, that's insane.
But I know Rob's heard me on the DX Commander.
Yeah, you're loud as anything in England.
Well, I mean that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to send its signals back to England. That's the whole point of that antenna.
They're
Conspiracy
listening to
theories.
us.
DX Commander made the antenna just so the DX goes back to England.
Right,
That's what it's designed to do.
Except I cannot work him. I have tried and tried. Well, I've tried.
That's
to work
also
with
the design
too.
of the radio. Callan
Well-
doesn't want to talk to DX. He wants to talk to people that are in England. He wants to work the nets with them. That's what he's all about.
He won't work you if you're on a flex radio.
He just wants you to know that he can
Oh.
hear you and you can't hear, and then you can't hear him. That's what he's aiming for.
No, my
Right,
problem
but
is
if he-
stupid S9 noise floor.
If you
Well,
tell
that's
him you
also
have a
part of the
10
problem.
word,
Yes,
that-
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that could be a problem.
That's the only reason I haven't worked you, Don, because I always hear you, and I know you've heard me like once or twice, but
Yeah, I've heard you. It's just barely over, it's like, but. So and by the way, I am planning on retiring at the end of this year, and then I'm getting
Congratulations.
this noise floor.
I was gonna say. So does that mean we're doing it? We're gonna tackle the noise floor?
Yeah, I'm
At,
moving
at this
along.
point, Don. At this point, Don, you could almost hold a meetup at your house just to have everybody come out and help you sort out the noise floor,
Oh,
because
We'll
we
drive
all
down to
know
help you
you're
sort out the
suffering.
noise floor,
We
dude.
all know you're suffering,
Yeah.
and we want to help you.
Yeah, but Josh, literally, my noise floor is the entire neighborhood. If I drive down the street to the other end of the neighborhood or that end of the neighborhood or, any of the directions, it's the same noise floor.
That would be the funniest YouTube video. You get 15 YouTubers show up. We're all here to help out Don with his noise floor.
Yes,
Let's check it out. What's going on? Oh my God!
Fox and Hunt.
Yeah.
What? I can't box
Okay.
hunt. The fox is everywhere. It's
That's
right,
right.
on top of us. We can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
Could be a whole damn event.
I had
Exactly.
I had Connor log into my Flex, or I gave him my login on the Flex, and he was helping me set it up, and he could not believe what my noise floor was.
I thought you had the flex.
Did he trash talk you after you gave him to him though? Because that's like. that
Oh
would
hell
be-
yeah!
Yeah, I was gonna say that
You-
sounds like Connor.
He trash talks to everybody, man.
Where are you going to? Where are you retiring to?
I'm looking
Outside Dallas.
Yeah, north of Dallas.
Yeah.
out where I can get an acre or two away from.
There you go, bud. There you go.
You want to be
Okay.
at least 20 miles out of town minimum.
If you don't get out that far, then you're paying a premium.
Yeah. Well, you want to get out so you don't, no commute and
I'm 5 miles north of Dallas as it is, and I'm completely surrounded. And if you go 5 to 10 miles north of me, you're completely surrounded with neighborhoods.
Well, you get good money getting out of there, then, right?
Oh yeah. This house is.
See, honestly, Don, that's a video series right there. To be honest with
Exactly.
you, like all the dudes who are kind of like you, who are like, I'm gonna retire, and you start making a video. It's almost like a vlog. You say like, I'm walking you through the process of, here I am. I'm kind of in the middle of the suburby area. I've got a hot property. People will want it. I'm gonna put it on the market, and then now I'm looking at like, where do I look for,
Yeah.
See, this is when you actually drive out there. Do what you did at home. Drive out there and see what the noise floor is like out there in the areas you're shopping at. There's a whole log right there. There's your video.
Ham radio house
Yeah,
hunters.
Yeah.
I just want to see Don. I just want to see Don clear out his house.
Yeah, that's a whole. That's a 5-part
Yeah.
series right there.
Now, I might show you what I moved to, but moving out of this house and all of the history that I've got here and explaining what's been going on and why I've got it would break my
It's
heart.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tomorrow is my 2nd anniversary of my retirement.
Yeah.
I retired 2 years ago.
Well, for me, Paul, it's because my wife is gone,
Yeah.
and my mother-in-law originally bought this house. She's gone, and I ended up with it. And I can tell you, I feel guilty
Oh.
because this thing is like worth. It's worth a lot of money.
If it really makes you feel really, really guilty, and you want to feel better,
Here we go.
you can just give the money to us,
Oh,
and we will help spend that money on new radios for us.
Don, set up a
buy,
ham shack.
And we promise we
Don,
will buy one flex.
Don, set up the people's ham shack that you can let
co-op
everybody
ham
log
shack.
into in your new
Ham shack.
low noise floor area, and that would be amazing. That would be awesome. But I respect that, Don. I do. That's got to be hard.
It's hard.
I
know. Listen,
that part of it, getting out and going somewhere new probably won't be.
Yeah.
And taking the money out of this house, because one of the problems with retiring is my income starts cut in half from the get-go.
Right.
You know,
well, you got capital gains too if you don't reinvest it anyway. So you gotta buy something when you get out of something.
Exactly. Yeah, I will. And I'm gonna put it in some land or in a house with some land. And I've already my sister and I looked last weekend, and there was one that was really attractive. I keep thinking about it because it's not far, and it was on an acre of land with a 1,300 square foot thing, and then it's got internet through like there's literally a pole on top of the house that goes up 50 feet, and I'm like, okay, there's an antenna going up on that sucker.
Now, on the power pole?
No, it's an internet connection. So there's a little tripod like you've got on your house.
Yeah.
But there's a whole there's a thing that goes up literally 50 feet above that with one of those little bitty satellite dishes on it. And it's pointing, it's internet or fixed wireless or fixed.
It's probably a unified point, like a radio.
Yeah.
My sister's got that.
Point to
One
point.
thing, if it's going up 50
point,
feet, that means the land is at a lower elevation.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Like when my dad bought his property, when I after I joined the Navy and he got rich, he went looking. He took the topo maps and went looking for something that was high, a high piece of ground. He found.
I like your dad. This is good thinking. This is exactly what you want to do.
Radio operator from the 50s.
That's it.
So he found 26 acres on top of a hill. He was at higher, like you would look towards downtown Des Moines. You could see it in the distance. You could just see the tops of the buildings.
I'm just thinking like a comedy skit in my head. Your mom goes to your dad, honey, it's time to start looking for houses. I've got this real estate agent on the phone. We're gonna look at it. No, honey, give me the tropo maps. I will find our home.
And so he was looking for high ground around Des Moines.
And lay out the HOAs because we are going anywhere near those.
Yeah, Texas is filthy with HOAs.
The problem for me is too. I want gig internet too.
But I live in an HOA. It's not as horrible as people.
Paul, would they let me put my step IR on the roof?
No.
Then no.
But it's like we went from let's just go look to moving from.
Then you start
New Jersey,
touching. You go from look to
the Philadelphia
touch.
area
You
to
cannot
Orlando,
touch, but you still touch.
Six
and that's.
weeks.
I've heard of people that go in and say, I don't want an HOA. I'm not moving into. Don't show me any property with an HOA. And then their wife finds a house that they absolutely have to move into. Oh yeah, by the way, it's got an HOA.
My wife still wants me to move into Leisure World.
$170 a month to have an HOA.
You buy land.
I can't plant an antenna in my backyard.
You buy land with utilities and you build a house. And when you build the house, you slip the guys pouring the foundation an extra couple cases of beer, and you have you have a foundation for your tower. And when you build, when you put the walls in,
I see what you did there.
You put big PVC.
I see what you did there.
Pipe in the walls, so you can have easy access from the shack in the basement out to the tower.
200 IQ.
There you go.
Yeah, the only thing is the cost of the tower, though.
No, it's honestly dealing with the concrete and all and like proper rebarring it out and do all that stuff like that. There's a huge cost in that.
Yeah, but look at getting a tilt over tower.
Here's what you do, Don. You start watching the used ads and you find somebody. We found a 55-foot tilt over tower. It was down in Ocean Beach or whatever, a real estate agent was like, hey, if you come and get this, you can take it. They were trying to sell the property, and it was some, ham radio operator had passed away.
It keeps the property off the market.
That's
how you get a
120-foot tower.
Yeah, there's a real estate company out here that's called Properties for Hams, and they literally resell amateur radio operator properties with the towers and everything on them, and you can buy them, that way. There was one about
Don't tempt me, Don.
20 miles north of.
There's a real nice place in Pahrump.
Ha ha! Where's Alec? Shots fired. Where? Yeah. Well, actually, a really good question. Has anybody bought Art Bell's place? Is there a ham there?
As of a couple months ago, his widow still lived there.
I didn't know that.
Owned it. But it's got a lot of antennas.
So she's left them up.
Well, yeah. Is she gonna take them down?
We have guys here that.
Oh yeah, Alec was the wrong one. It's Cameron. Sorry, Cam. Yes.
Yeah, he's probably
it's not
still
Alec.
got
It's Cam. I
the
apologize.
loop.
Yeah, we have guys in the club that pass away, and then the club takes care of selling all of their equipment for the widow. But generally, the towers are, just get somebody out here to take it down.
Right.
And,
they want it gone. Because, well, I mean, if you think about it, when you start getting older, it's got to be like, it's almost got to look daunting when you go out your backyard and you're like, my husband put this up, and it is 100 feet up in the air. What the hell am I going to do with this thing? They just want it gone.
Well, that's the thing in me and putting up a tower. I don't really is a mast is collapsible, and I can collapse it down and tilt it over and manipulate. And as long as it's a hex beam, it wouldn't make a bit of difference. It's on a.
You could do it on a step IR with the tilt over. To be honest, a 3 element. You could do it.
Yeah, a mast though, Josh, not a tower.
Oh yeah. For sure.
You can do that with a hex beam.
Yeah, that's true.
One we took down was a tilt over. I want to say it's like 55 feet.
Yeah.
So I was like, the guy that got it never put it up. So I'm tempted. Not saying I would, but I'm tempted.
Mm-hmm.
Go get it from him because he told me if I wanted, just come grab it.
Yeah. The thing about that is right now I have zero place to put anything like that to keep it.
But you're around Dallas, so that's a large, that's something to start keeping an eye out for if you're planning on moving and setting something up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I probably would put a mast up before I put a tower up because
what's a good crank up mast that'll go 25, 30 feet?
Roan.
What? Roan
H30, H40, H50. You can go 30 feet, 40 feet, or 50 feet.
That's a push up though.
That's fine. That's exactly
what I said. Crank up though. He said crank up.
Crank up.
No, the crank button and have it just go and go up.
The crank ups are expensive. Now I've seen some guys that.
So I don't know about a crank up mast, like just a mast. I know about a crank up tower, like a like a triangle.
Yeah, and generally with a mast, you want the rotator at the bottom of the mast, not at the top.
How does that work?
Well, there's plenty of videos on YouTube there, Josh, but
it's not at the bottom of the mast. It's at the top. It's at the bottom of the topmost section.
No, it's at the bottom.
Can't because how do you crank that up? How do you crank and rotate?
Well, first of all, it's got a thrust bearing on it, so they put a thrust bearing up about on the first section of the mast. And the mast just raises up out of that up to its full height, and then the rotator turns the whole mast. And the guy rings.
You're saying the rotor's on the very bottom section, or it's at the top of the it's at the bottom of the topmost section.
It sits right at the bottom on a mount, and then the mast sits inside the mount.
It rotates the whole tower.
It rotates the whole mast. Yes. inside the guide.
Wait, you're saying mast? I mean tower. So I'm thinking of crank up
no.
tower.
No, I'm talking about mast.
Oh, you sure? Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, a tower I don't think is in my future because I'm one of those old guys.
Could be.
I'm one of those old guys that you're talking about, Josh. About
no, you just have to find somebody in your club who's getting rid of a crank up tower, and then you're all set. You're good. You're money.
Yeah, but by the time that happens, I'd probably be 3 or 4 more years older than I am right now.
That's 3 years. You already got to. You know how long it's going to take you to pack up your shack, Don? That's 3 years at least. You're good, bud. You're good. You're covered.
Those flex radios simplify everything.
That's it. Yeah, because that's the thing that Don's got in his shack. So the radios you're hearing about that Don talks about, there is a pathway of other things that Don has. Don has a lot of stuff.
He has like a glamour room.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing you saw on the Zoom, and he's showing off the glamour spot. But Don's well equipped, well appointed, appointed.
The pin spots on the Mercury and the pin spots on the Anon.
I got to turn off.
Yeah, I'll center him so that we can just all bathe in the glory.
None. Okay, so. There is my main radio right there. There's the Mercury, right?
Yeah.
Here's the Sun SDR DX.
Right. The new recently 8 purchase Sun SDR. That's right.
And well, I've had mine.
There's the Hermes, and there's a multitude of other things. Yeah. Oh my God, Don.
That's the 101.
There's so much going on here, man.
You could. There's some of that.
There's the FTM 400. There it is. We found it.
I've got
everything. You said everything was on
Yeah. What does Don not have? That's the question.
That's what I'm saying. Is that yes? This is like
does not have an icon radio.
Well, every time I get it up where I can show you, but anyway, there is the Alenka that's running All Star.
Oh.
So.
Do we see the icons?
Huh?
Plus video.
You see the ICOM radios?
I don't have any.
All-Star node, Don?
I don't have any ICOM radios.
Not a one.
No, I mean, I've got an old 800 in here, V800 or V8000, the 80-watt 2-meter. That
I want to see your Heathkit Lunchbox 6.
Oh, wait a minute! I'm sorry, Paul. I've got a 7000, a 71. Whole bunch of radios sitting over there.
There it is. There it is, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 7.
I just want to see the packing video. I want to see the actual packing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Don, this is actually a really good opportunity to walk people through your whole process. Not content. Don't look at it as content. Look at it as helping out other hams, right? Because
or starting Don's radio emporium.
Well, okay, so I'll just go out on a limb and say Don, generally, you don't make bad decisions on what you're going to do, particularly in your life, I'm assuming. So at some point, you might get out of that home, right? And you might start looking at areas where there's a low noise floor, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, okay, I found a good spot. I'm going to find, I got my home now. And then now you got to move all your radio crap over there. We all have that problem. We all got that problem. So that's actually a actually very compelling video series because there is a ton of people that are in the same shoes you're in. Seriously, there are actually a lot of people who are thinking about, they're at the point of retiring and they're thinking about getting a little bit, outside the hustle and bustle and all that, trying to find a place that's quiet on the noise floor that won't piss the wife off, right? It's the wife wants HOA, but I got to find a happy medium where I can still put up a tower kind of thing. That's a whole thing right there, right?
Yeah, somebody will have to do the wife thing because I don't.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean.
I know that's an issue, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike N8YO and Lawnmower Mike and some of us, we're all kind of in the same boat. We don't have the wife thing anymore. So it is a lot easier.
Mike
know.
NAYO is like a perpetual bachelor to me. Like he's just.
Yeah, I understand he's been married before.
But he's like he's living his life to the fullest extent. That guy.
Right.
Having a good time.
And see, the thing was, my wife was a ham. So
the
only thing was she had the same aversion to antennas in the yard that I do. 2 meters, okay, because she was a 2-meter nut. But this 8,000 that I've got down here is the last one that I bought for her because she wanted it. She wanted a radio in her car. I needed to get her a radio for her car, so I did. And way back when the Baofangs first came out, she was the one. She was one of the first purchasers because she found it on Amazon for $20. Did you know they have ham radios for $20? And this was about.
She brought it into the home, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, she ordered 2 or 3 of them. I can't find them anymore. But in fact, I just bought 3 the last couple of days. Because I'm using the AIOC and I'm doing APRS with them.
Oh, nice! Right.
I've got an iGate all set up, and the nice thing about that AIOC is it's got that sound card on it. But then Direwolf supports the GPIO pin 3 on the CM108 sound card for PTT. So it will PTT the radio, everything. It's just, it's so damn easy to set it up for APRS. I'm going to say the reason I've got 3 of them. Oops. I'm going to set up a packet radio with the other.
Right on. Very cool. All right. So we're 15 minutes from where I want to close things out, I think. So let's open it up a little bit. Anybody hanging out? We should actually let's close the poll. See where we ended up.
I just put yes.
Good.
It must sound good to me.
And
where is the poll? It doesn't even show up for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I've got a quick question. Best way to log field day.
So
answers to that.
Actually,
what's the best way?
Austin, are you still here? So this is actually something we should talk about. So I like to use N3FJP. I think it's really simple to network computers together and all that stuff. With Austin here, that's kind of a conversation we have to have for San Clemente Island, how we're going to log. I would propose N3FJP, but I don't think everybody has it. At the same time, we're going to have to do like a pre-setup kind of thing to make them all talk together so that they're, piling all the logs together kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're thinking about field day, though, there's really only a couple of options from my point of view that kind of are in that space, particularly if you're working with multiple people. It is N3FJP, or what's the other one?
N1MM or something?
N1MM is the other one. N1MM is probably the other one. N1MM is free, and N3FJP is like $50, and you get access to all their suite of logs. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much in perpetuity because I've been using it for years now. There are other options. You can always just like log on a spreadsheet or log on paper and then, coalesce them together. That's an option that you can do. That's always kind of a pain in the ass though. But that of course you can do that. So
yeah,
FJP's free for field day.
Is it free?
That's what I thought.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You have to pay for it.
I'll have to look into this. So what do they do? Just make it in the ADIF so you can upload it to Logbook of the World, or does it automatically put it in Logbook of the World and or QR?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't log anywhere than like locally on your computer. You have to take that and upload it to the ARRL for logging for field day or in Logbook of the World.
And all that.
Yeah.
What
Well, you can link it. You can link all that crap together, but like at the end of the day, when you want to submit your log for field day, you can take the export from N3FJP and it walks you through the whole thing. It'll actually upload it for you, but it's not like an automated process. You still have to do some stuff.
And the thing is, what we've taken to doing is we run 3 different N3FJP instances, and then at the end of the day, the guy that submits it for us takes all 3 of those and puts them together and then submits it. So you don't have to link them together if you're going to use them as a plug.
And FJP is $8.99 just for field day.
Yeah.
Buy the whole kit. It's like $50.
Yeah, it's $60 for the whole thing.
Yeah, there's $60. Oh,
$60
inflation. I'm sorry,
it.
inflation. But like I have downloaded. I will go to that website and download every contest that I involve myself in. And if you have the suite, you're good. You're all set. And you just copy the link over or the key over, and you're done.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Save that email with the key on it.
No, do what I do and Gmail it, right? So it's Gmail, and then you just search Gmail for it, and then pray to the Lords that you can find the right email. That's what you do. That's
search for everything.
Search for everything.
Pretty much.
He sent it to me on my Gmail, and that's exactly what I did. I look for his Scott and something, and it comes up.
As a complete aside, do you know how hard it is for me to get like engineers today to understand the value of being able to search crap? Like it drives me nuts. Like I talked to a senior engineer. It's like I've got all my scripts in my network file, and they're all text files. I'm like, so how do you find that file? And they're like, oh, I just know that I did this back in 2019, and then I pull the script up, and I'm like, no one knows what's going on in your head. So how would we take this information and aggregate it to the masses?
Do they even get? Do they even know what get is?
Yes, but that's come along later. Or a Wikipedia, a wiki. Set up a wiki where you do all this. Aggregating operating system network files is a complete disaster. It's so frustrating. And I want you all to know that things that we have put into space is based off of a system where you cannot aggregate anything. It's a dude with a network file.
Look,
that's
just notepad.
I believe it having been inside AWS.
It.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same things go on there.
Hey, Josh, so we use Confluence, and Confluence offers a GitHub plugin. So we're going to read a GitHub page.
Yeah.
So we've been doing kind of automating our documentation into GitHub. Turns out Confluence, if you go to search Confluence, it won't find anything that is in the GitHub file, even though it's a text file that you're just pointing at. It's not it doesn't search the stuff you point to in GitHub. I was so disappointed in it, but then I realized, it's enterprise software.
It's a feature. You got to pay more for that one.
They probably charge extra for that.
Yeah,
I don't even
that's
care.
Only a feature of their
at the enterprise level.
Version.
At the enterprise level, what are we really arguing about? The ability to use keywords to just search for something.
Yeah,
give the masses the things they need. I don't care. Yeah, I don't even care. Wait,
and Logstash and
so our 503 Nick says, by the way, you still need to make a video demonstrating how ham radio can do virtually anything a cell phone can.
It can't.
I've already done that. What do you mean?
Well, they can't, but I don't. Because whenever we can do massive MIMO antennas.
Oh, okay. All right.
All of that crap that goes and channelized. So a single frequency carrying 24 separate channels on it. And
you're not going to be able to play what's the stupid thing all the YouTubers shill, that game for the non-ham YouTubers?
Oh, geez.
Raid
Fashion
Raid
Nations or
Legends,
something?
like, yeah. So
Oh.
you're not gonna be able to do the Raid Legends on your ham radio, but I mean, like, I don't know. So 503 Nick, this is a great question. It's a really good video, but you've got to give me like a bullet point, right?
Yeah.
Because ham radio, yeah, it's true. It doesn't solve all the things, and I don't think it's trying to solve all the things, but if
Well, it's a different way of doing things, and our
Right.
stuff is radio to radio. There's no big multi-million-dollar infrastructure between my radio and your radio, and that's the real beauty of it not being a cell phone.
Right.
It'll
I
be
think
there
so.
when everything else stops working.
Yeah,
Well,
the infrastructure, because I mean, this is what I do for a living, and the infrastructure that we put together is extremely complex. And we have, like, right now on staff, we have about 200 RF engineers
Mhm.
that do not, you know how you talked to Stuart one time, right? Or sorry, is it Stuart? N0SSC.
Stu? Are you
Sterling.
talking about Stu?
Sterling.
Sterling.
Sterling. Oh yeah.
We have 100 of those guys working for us.
You got 100 Sterlings?
Yes, we have to.
Oh my
We're
god!
designing
Do you know how
radio
amazing
heads.
your antennas must be if you got 100 Sterlings?
That's what I'm talking about. Massive MIMO is really complex. And the funny thing is, you talk to those guys about HF, they understand it, but they don't want to talk to you about it.
Well, they
It's
don't
not-
make money off of it. There's no
they
money
just-
there for
They
them.
don't have any interest in it because they don't see any money in it. So, I mean, guys like, that's the reason I think that Rolly and some of those really old broadcast engineers are still around, because the new guys don't really want to do that.
That's a really interesting question, Ton.
I wonder what the average age of a radio broadcast engineer is compared to like I went to our the repeater group,
Mhm.
and I swear half of those guys were rolling with oxygen bottles and stuff and about ready, 1 foot in the grave.
I think
40 plus years old, apparently.
That's a really interesting.
Mhm.
So I guess. So maybe this is me speaking out of turn a little bit, and I'm gonna pull up my drink a little bit here. So I think that like the reality for the high frequency guys, and I'm gonna move my mobile out of the way a little bit here, is that if you talk to them about lower frequency stuff, they think it's like beneath them. Because to be honest, and this is not like a shame thing on HF, but for the guys that are doing like super high frequency stuff or just anything above 500 megahertz kind of thing, to them that's the challenge. It's not the lower frequencies. Like that they already get it. Like the tradition of knowledge already exists. They can open up any book. They can literally open up any book and they'll have all the information. Like fractal antennas, phased array antennas. Like when you talk to people that are in the RF space now, a lot of them are like, "Oh yeah, no, we're doing fractals. We already have like a deployed phased array system." That's the future from my point of view. If you talk to those guys, we're like on the peak of like RF engineering. They don't care about HF.
Does the schooling for RF engineers even include any HS stuff other than glancing over it as just
other than
basis?
like the knowledge of, right? Like just the.
It's all established knowledge that no one cares about anymore.
I mean, you have to understand. So, like for the stuff that makes money, and so this is a little bit me dipping into my, my wheelhouse where I normally work. Phased array antennas are the biggest thing right now. Everybody is doing phased arrays. Everything's got to be a phased array. Oh, we can do multiple services on one antenna body kind of thing. And to me, I'm more thinking over here, it's like, oh, this is slices. We're doing Hermes light slices. because it's the same concept. It's just the fact that you can program the antenna to work slightly different. It's like, okay, well, if you make it software, I can do anything, and that's kind of what phased array antennas are at this point. Is that they're a thing that RF engineers created that have now been leveraged for software, and now we can use them to do a myriad of things and share slices for. It's like a shared asset now. In the past, it used to be like, oh, we literally have a Yagi that pointed, out of a space vehicle, and that's what it did, and we could share some of that space, but not a lot of it. Now with phased array, the doors open up completely, and it's like, oh man, this is nuts. We can do all kinds of things. To an RF engineer, they're like, I want on that, I want to be a part of that world where we're working phased arrays and whatnot, because that's like new and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or fractals to a degree, but again, that goes back to like very singular transmitter, singular receiver kind of thing.
And see, what we do in our space is massive MIMO. And basically the point is, because at that 5 to 3.5 gigahertz up, it doesn't go through buildings. And so you have to make the antennas push the signals around the corners. And that's what they're doing. So a lot of their engineering is, how do I get this really high frequency signal around these buildings and around the corners? And that's why with 5G, you're going to see stuff every couple of blocks, because in order to get the speed that they promised with 5G, they have to be very high in frequency. And then when they get there, then they've got to deal with all the physics around that.
It's got to be very dense too to get that coverage.
Yep, it is. Well, again, the towers are only about as big as a telephone pole. They're not these big things like we see today. That's 4G. The 5G towers are telephone's pole size with a little bulb at the top. And everything is in there. The antenna, the radio head, even the computer that's running it is all inside of that little tower.
So I'm curious, Don, do you have the same position you had, 2 years ago on 5G? Has it changed?
Meaning?
You were not a fan 2 years ago.
I'm still, I'm not as big a fan of it. Well, what I'm not a fan of, and because I have to be careful what I'm saying, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, well, no, but it's private. But yes, you should still be careful. Yeah.
Right.
Treat it like it's in the public.
Because the deal is that we have to be. I mean, 5G to me, you're right now. We don't have 5G. Your phone will say 5G on it.
Right. Yeah.
Only in a
most people don't have it. Yeah.
Very few places have it. There's a place in Rhode Island and a couple of other places where they've implemented. And if you're looking up and you see a tower that's 200 feet in the air with all these sectional antennas on it, that's 4G. And all they've done is they've increased the bandwidth on 4G. So you think that you're getting higher speeds, but we're not at 5G yet. And
if you come to Columbus, you'll see 5G scattered all over.
But
it's
hold
not
on,
full coverage, but it's here.
So I'm going to hold you to that a little bit. Like, do you still hate it, or are you kind of like, what are your thoughts? Because you were not a fan when it came out. What do you think? What would you say?
As far as like a fan, I mean, I wouldn't pay extra money for it, but
okay. But can it achieve? Do you think it can achieve what they claim, at least eventually, if they had like a network propagation kind of thing?
It's going to be tough, and again, there's things I probably shouldn't say, but I'm close enough. Well, I shouldn't say that either. I was going to say I'm close enough to retirement to say almost that.
Go ahead, say it.
But they're having a tough time with the carriers actually picking it up, because if you look at it, like, we're doing everything today that we want to do. So what else is there that I can sell you that you absolutely have to have 5G for? Because 4G, you're streaming videos, you're making phone calls, you're having video phone calls. All of that stuff already works today. So what's the killer app on 5G? And the carriers are looking at that going, yeah. And we are pushing some really interesting 5G stuff out there, but it's commercial. So in other words, it's for corporations to give to their employees. It's not the consumer stuff. Because again, they really don't see it. The application's really not there, because even these guys, what they're doing is, well, we're going to pull in videos off the internet, and we're going to pull in, and this is what's interesting, they're going to pull 500 gig of data over and push it out to the systems, and we're going to do that in one rack of equipment. So 500 gig of bandwidth to one set of racks, 4 racks. And so that means we're pulling about 100 gig, or we're processing 100 gig of video and phone calls and all of that stuff in 4 racks. And that's where things will eventually head. But the carriers have to replace all their infrastructure. They have to put all the money in. And then
yes, like that requires an infrastructure overhaul to be able to achieve that.
But they need the customers to demand it. Well, again, what do you need 5G for?
I want more data. I want all the datas. I want a what's the guy's name from
you can stream
Next Generation. I want a spiner. I want a spiner in my. I want a data in my shack. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem. If we had something like 3G,
Bruce Spiner, Brent Spiner. Yeah.
If we had 3D video where, like, you sit in your house and you get this.
Oh, we're gonna Tupac it. It's a Tupac hologram.
Holograms.
Yeah. If you could do that, then sure, there's your killer app. But
there's Biggie.
That's
Biggie
not there
Smalls
yet.
Right there.
Dude, Biggie Smalls is my favorite.
Yeah, and having that watch like Paul has, and having a little video come up, and like the Princess Leia thing.
Apple Vision with 4G, 5G built in.
It's tough sometimes when I listen to Biggie Smalls, and it's like, oh, that's right, I'm in Tupac land.
I
have to calm
Biggie
down.
Smalls would have been 51.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's still young though. 51.
I know.
Wow.
Well, how old would it be Tupac then? Like Tupac was the the other
Tupac
side,
would be
my
like
side.
57. Yeah,
he's young as hell, man. It's crazy.
52.
He was gonna be Art LeBeau on the Quiet Storm. Oh man. Tough. Man. Well, so let's we still got a decent amount of people. Does anybody want to say anything about their field day? I would like to give everybody, give them the moment to talk about their field day or what they're planning on doing.
I got to find a group around San Diego.
Point your 6-meter beam at San Clemente Island. I bet you can figure something.
It's 80 miles as the crow flies. Are you guys going to be on like a higher elevation on the island?
We'll be at about
on the beach.
We're going to be on the beach, on the west beach.
We'll be above the
right
water
to the-
line if that's what you're thinking. Yeah,
beach to
we'll
beach.
be up. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be at about 800 feet where we're transmitting from. So
I'll probably be able to hit you pretty easy. I don't know, but I did pick up I bought that Arrow 6-meter beam.
Oh, the big boy. Yeah,
One that's, I don't know, it's like 10 feet long, 12 feet long.
that's a big boy from my
I'm
point
just
of
going
view.
to put it on my, I got like a push-up aluminum mat, so I'm just going to put it on that and hand rotate it.
So that's kind of the fun thing about 6 meters is. So by the way, I would say go ahead and assemble it. I hate to say this because it's normally like whether you're in San Diego though, so you're gonna be fine. But like assemble it and have it pretty much all set up, and then you just when the times are right, push it up. The thing though that like if you talk to Hayden, Ham Radio DX, or some of my other friends, the idea is that you have like a 6-meter measuring antenna, something that's just kind of listening all the time, and you're doing like whisper, right? Just whisper all the time. And then when it opens up, you get notified. You're like, oh, all of a sudden I'm hitting ZL, and now, boom, we got to point it, get it up, point it out, and start getting on the air with it. But you need that. You need that active response to kind of know what your signal's doing, unless you're doing it online or whatever. But you almost need like something tied to like an if this then that. Like if 6 meters is open, text me or post a tweet about it or do something.
I could probably have Home Assistant do something.
See, I've got a 6-meter Moxon, and a 10-meter Moxon.
Right.
And what I've thought about doing is getting a 6-meter Squalo. And then the Squalo can sit up there and listen omnidirectional.
Right.
And now the thing is, like right now, we know here in where I'm at, from mid-May until mid-July, 6 is open nearly every day. It was open all day today. I was getting all over the country all day today.
Mm-hmm.
And then it died, and it's I just checked, it's not up, but it can open up even in the middle of the night. And then you got to listen, because at other times of the year we'll get meteor scatter, and
which is also good. Like that's good too.
But yeah, what you're saying is true, but you need that omnidirectional listening all the time. And then when you hear something on it and you see it start to open, that's when you bring your beam out.
I think the DX Commander will do 6 meters with the tuner.
Yeah, but your hot dog level antenna. At that point, like it's on the
small.
Ground.
Yeah.
A Squalo or a dipole in the air would be better.
Yeah, I've got my yard's roughly the same as size as yours, Josh.
Yeah.
It's not that big. It's California.
Yeah.
My front yard's bigger than my backyard.
Don't you hate that? Don't you hate
the
that?
backyard's like 61 feet.
Kids, go play in the front yard to tell our neighbors that we have a good family.
Yeah, and then the backyard's like 20 feet by 60. So
yeah,
like the DX Commander goes on, it's on like the 10-foot piece of dirt on the side of the house. And then the radials are kind of run out east and west.
Mine are 180 degrees because it sits right next to the patio, and I don't run them back under the patio. But they fan out.
Well, I've got the fence on the south side and then the house on the north side, so the radials all run east west. That worked really well with the DX Commander light, and then that kind of got blown down in a storm, and I haven't replaced it, so I ended up ordering. He gave me a deal on a replacement, and then he came out with that Signature 9, which has no guys, and I have a dog, so I'm going to do the Signature 9 and watch the dog chew it up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my battery's dying on the laptop. I left the stupid power supply at work, unfortunately, so I'm going to check out. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I think. Oh, thank you, Brooks, for hanging out. Appreciate you, man. And I hope to make contact with you on field day.
Looking forward to it, guys. Nice seeing you guys.
So I think we're going to probably wrap things up here, I think, at this point. I think we've been run for a little while. Is there anything we didn't, hit? And let me go back to the chat.
How awesome Flex radios are. I just started watching videos on them. I'm like, man, I got to get one of these now that
they're a lot.
Yeah, they're a lot of money. A lot of money.
I ordered
a lot of money.
The 6400 is what I ordered.
Go watch Kyle's stream that we did about a week ago.
Yeah, that's the one that I was watching it, and then Jim's like, "Oh, I've got a 6300 sitting here,"
Yeah.
I pinged him, and then I started watching more videos. I'm like, oh, I'll just buy
How
one.
it happens.
Yeah. You guys are a bad influence. I ordered one on Monday, and then Andy called me up and we chatted a bit. I don't see me. I'm not a hardcore contester, so I'm like, do I want to spend the extra?
I don't contest either. But here's what's fun about those. You get in a contest, and then you really see what that radio can do. Now, again, I don't contest.
Crush everybody.
Well, you can get in between two people that are right on top of each other and pull that third guy out. No problem.
Or you could still do that with the 6400.
You could, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
Doesn't matter.
Like, well, trying to manage multiple bands, I wasn't like, I probably won't do that.
The reason I got the 6600 was that it had the most flexibility of it.
Yeah,
So
it's basically two
it had the
radios.
full duplex. It had the two SCUs. It's got additional filtering in it. And so I just said, well, yeah. And at the time, when I bought that radio, it cost me less than a 7610 at the same time.
Yeah, because I was eyeballing the 7610.
Yeah, I was too.
Really? Yeah. Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael came to our club meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sold me on it. Before then, I was looking at the 7610. And then when I started looking at it, I was like, well, I really want to get a flex. And then I looked at the difference in cost between a 7610 and a 6600. And I was like, well, the 6600 is cheaper. And then, of course, I've got to have a Maestro.
So I just want to say my 7610 has a handle on the side, so I can just
carry it. You can take it places.
But interesting, no one's mentioned a K3 or K4.
Yeah, well, the K4's not finished yet. Damn it! Until that HD's
close.
It's not finished.
What's funny about so we're all just talking right now. We're all just talking. Nobody's
funny,
recording this, right? We're just we're not recording this. I've been a big fan of Elecraft for a very long time. I've always been in their camp. I love their stuff. I love their support of like DXing, DXpeditions, all that. And those guys are just like the hardest to like work something out. Like, hey, I don't want to own it. Like, let me just borrow this from you and I'll send it back or whatever. They're literally the Mac computer, like they're Apple of ham radio. Like everybody who says that, it is completely accurate. It is completely accurate. I do want a K4, but I don't necessarily want to have to buy it to experience it.
Get a 6600, Josh.
We're at a really interesting point with radios where the 7610 is almost like of the old school right now. Like looking at it, it's like, yeah, big bright screen, but it's almost at the point where it's starting to show its age a little bit, and the new generation is coming out, and a lot of them are going full SDR, just full computer display. And then you look at a radio that has a screen like a K4 and you're like, did you already kneecap your evolution because you are a screened radio, right? Because hypothetically, all of this should be ported to SDR.
Well,
but here's the flip side of that is we have this weird fad, and I don't think it's a fad that's going away, in the form of parks on the air and portable operation. Mm-hmm. So many of these like really good SDRs don't equate themselves to portable. And that sucks because they kind of could. Like a Hermes Light in a pack, like if you built it up, you could do that. And it would be fantastic. It would be a really good radio for you. But it's not that slickness of like, I exchanged folding dollars for a thing that's all done for me. When you get to SDR, it's almost like the old school of like hams that had to build shit on their own, right? Mm-hmm. SDRs now are kind of like the hams back in the day that had to like build the whole radio. And so for those SDR guys, it's like really the challenge for all of you is like, how do we make a thing that gets portable? Because I know you got the lock on like it's a network connected device. It's really good. You just got to plug coax into it and give it a home network, and you're going to be slamming. The reality is that none of that turns into getting in the field. None of it, and that's where like the Yaesu 891 is like 6 years old right now. Like we need a new radio, right? Like if you think about it. We need a new POTA radio. And if it was an SDR, I'd be like, yes, this is exactly what we want.
Yeah, the KX2, the KX3, and the 6100 are all SDRs.
But they kind of suck.
The KX3 and the KX2?
Well, okay.
You can't even get a KX2.
I mean, I heard 6100. That kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah. I just brought
so
it
the
up.
KX2, KX3 are great, but they're not competing against the 705 for most people. They really aren't.
Yeah,
they really aren't. Aside from size. So for size, yeah, I take the KX2 everywhere because it's nothing. It weighs nothing.
For functionality, 705 cannot be beat.
As far as POTA goes, though, because and this is me, I get that, but I carry a laptop with me when I go POTA. Well, so then
Good for you.
The Armies is no big deal. It's just a radio, and if it's a 12-volt laptop and you got a 12-volt radio, you just plug it all together, and there you go. And I have been threatening to take one of my Hermes out for and run FT8.
So Don is saying SDRs have a marketing problem, is what I'm hearing.
By the way,
no, right? I mean, it is, right?
Because you remember the Outer Banks, right? When they did the Outer Banks,
yeah.
Connor took a flex radio out there.
Well, because Connor's an asshole. He'll do anything asshole adjacent.
Now, the one thing about the flex radios is they're very light. But that doesn't mean that you don't have this big package. It's a 2U package, actually. So
right.
And in fact, they just obsoleted or whatever you want to call it.
It's not this light though.
That's true.
700s no more. They can't get parts.
Yeah, and
I love my 705.
I do not.
I spend more time with my 705.
Why do you not like a 7? Okay, wait. I have to go to the restroom. I have to go to the restroom really bad. I want to hear why Don doesn't like the 705, but I don't want to. Please wait. Hold on that.
Okay.
I want to hear. So you guys keep talking.
What?
I'm gonna keep. Hold on. So Paul, hold on.
Go pig.
Let the dogs.
Let the dogs out. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we'll let them out when I get back. But hold on. So I would like to hear Don while I'm gone. You guys tell everybody. Don, how do you portable a flex? And I know you can. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back. I'm going right now. Go ahead.
It's the same way you do a Hermes light.
You just get the mic.
You have a computer. You have a computer because you're going to take that for logging anyway. I always do. And then you plug the Ethernet port directly into the Ethernet port of the laptop. Done. And now I would possibly take along a microphone, but generally when you're taking a radio out, you're going to have a microphone. You could take a headset, but either way, you can easily do that. And I know Connor took that out there. Then he took a KPA 500 amplifier out there. And Jason, by the way, has taken his 6400 out to field day. So, I mean, it's doable. It's not something somebody thinks of. And part of the reason I think for that is the cost of them. I mean, what if you dropped it? Or
if when you drop it?
Yeah.
How's it handle the dirt?
Right. Well,
rocks.
It handles
salt water.
about as well as my KX3 does. Because if I were to drop that on rocks or whatever, it's not gonna like it much either. And I'm very careful. Like the SDR that I take out to my activations, just like Jason does, is the FTDX10. So, and there's a bunch of guys like Mike, K8MRD, takes a 60 or 7300. Again, that's a SDR.
Right.
And the problem that you would have, which you have with the Hermes Light, with a 705, is it's QRP. And I really, truly believe, and Josh will love this because he's just in time.
I'm back.
Life is too short for QRP.
For POTA for sure. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Like the people that feel that way. I don't necessarily agree, but I understand where you're coming from.
You talked to Jason. There's no soda around here. Well, Mike said the same. Mike K8MRD said the same thing. There's no soda out here. There are mountains out here. They're labeled, but they're jokes. They're hills that you can walk up onto or drive up onto.
So is the problem with the 705 that you have just the power output kind of thing? Is that
No,
it?
I mean, I've actually had problems with it. I've lost 2 batteries. And what I finally did,
the radio didn't make you lose the batteries. What do you mean?
Well, I don't know.
Check under the front seat of the car. It might be there.
And then
check under the seat.
So what I did was, because ICOM didn't treat me right either, because I hadn't had that battery but about 2 months. And it's like, well, mail it in to us and we'll look at it and see if we can figure out.
Oh, the battery died. Like the battery died. You didn't lose them. They died, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they died.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't physically misplace them. No. And what I ended up doing is, if you go onto Amazon, there are some cheap batteries for the 705. I bought one of those. Never had any problems since.
Huh.
But ICOM is like, no, you got to send that thing in. We'll look at it. It's like, no, would they send you one out? And we'll put a box in there or a label in that box. So you take that battery out, put it in, and put your label on it, and send us the old one back, and we'll refurb it and figure out what went wrong with it. No, they don't do that. No.
Don's problem with the 705 is that says ICOM on it.
And then you remember Smoking Ape when he got his 705?
Yeah.
Didn't even work.
I think he poured Miller Lite all over it. That's why it didn't work.
Well, it never worked out of the box. So. But yeah, I mean,
after the beer fell in the
yeah,
top.
they did.
I know he didn't do that. Do that.
But I mean, did we really? I love all the features on the 705. If only they would do that in a 7300 style radio or a 7610 style radio.
Like an
now,
all-in-one?
The 7610 has some great features in it. Why didn't they do that or carry those features down to the 7300? At least
because it's gonna cost more money.
Money.
Just an Ethernet. One Ethernet port, it would have made the radio so much better.
Yes, one Ethernet port.
That's not that much. That's not that much. The hardware on Ethernet ports is dirt cheap. That's why it's in the Hermes Light. Hermes Light, $300.
With a radio that doesn't have a screen.
Well, yeah, right. So the screen, the screen costs what it costs to stick a Ethernet port in.
It's such a moving target when we talk about these different radios of the it's a user like front panel usable radio.
Yeah.
Generally, if the radio's front panel usable, it doesn't matter who makes it, Yaesu or ICOM or whatever. Like it's gonna cost more money. Unless it has, if it just has an Ethernet in the back and like, oh, you do this with the screen you already own, the laptop, computer, or whatever, right? They're just moving the cost to another thing, basically.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, right?
I agree, but
yeah. And you're not wrong. I mean, like, at the end of the day, yeah, the 7300 has a small screen of today's standards, and technically so does the 7610. When I compare it to even my cheapest laptops, it's like, yeah, no, like, it's the same thing, just on the screen. But
Yeah,
portable
and the
is always
705
yeah.
could be a pillow too.
But the portable question is always the great equalizer in all this, in the sense that, like, if you go portable, what are you gonna take at the end of the day? I guess, like, what are you gonna take?
The KX3, and actually, I just told you what I take, which is the FTDX10.
Right. Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are doing that, like the guy on my last POTA video.
Yeah,
FTDX10, great radio for parks on the air. I can't disagree with that.
And again, one of the advantages to that radio in any of these SDRs is all of the filtering and everything that's in it. And sometimes you need that because you get to a park, you don't really know what the conditions are, and you go out there and the noise floor is high. So there are advantages to it. So, but I mean, I always go out, I think, to parks on the air. 90% of my POTA activations are with an SDR. And either the FTDX10 or the KX3. I know I've activated a couple of times with a 705.
I have personally. Yeah,
I have too. And 705 works great if you're the one calling CQ. If you're trying to work park to parks, oh my God.
Generally, if you have a trapped antenna and you're running QRP, you're not going to do very well. Like, or a loaded base, loaded vertical, anything like that, you're going to have a harder time. Like, straight up.
One of the first contacts I made with my 705 was to K at MRD when he was in Michigan, and I was using a hamstick on the top of my van.
On QRP?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
good for you.
10 watts. I did have an external battery, but yeah, 10 watts. And Mike gave me a 5.9.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And that's one of the only times I've been able to work him because he's too damn close now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to wrap things up. And I when I went to the restroom, my brain's constantly going. And I was thinking to myself, how cool is it going to be when I go to Hamvention and I can take my oldest with me, and he's driving age, and you're like, Ben, take the wheel. You drive me all the places.
Has he got his license yet?
No, he's 9.
Yeah,
we're many years in front of like where we're where we're going.
I know he was walking around with the app.
No. And I haven't got him licensed yet. He's working on it. But that's what I was thinking to myself. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Like, I have children. They should start doing some of this for me right now.
Dad, can I take the Lightning?
Yeah, well, no, probably. Well, even 6 years from now, or not even 7 years from now, it's still going to be fast as hell. So, maybe we work at a deal. Maybe we can work at a deal. Like, yeah, you can take your date, go to the movies, but you got to come with me to Hamvention. You have to drive me around. There you go. There's
Are you going to Huntsville?
Absolutely, sir. Yes,
Okay.
and I'll be there. I am flying into Huntsville on Thursday, so I will be there for whatever the shenanigans are at the the campground on Friday. Because to me, the most ham radio stuff, like the fun ham radio stuff, goes down on the Friday.
Okay.
Everybody watching, you waited this long. Here's the secret. The most like if you want to make contacts with people and like do all of that, that's on Friday. Get there a little bit early. I would say I actually don't know if we have a pavilion yet. I think we do. We probably do.
Somebody got it last year already for this year, and I think it's Vern.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we likely have all the pavilions covered. The question is which ones? I don't have the answers for that yet. So I'll text Vern and I'll let you guys know. But yeah, it is that day is the best day. That's when we did the live satellite contact. That's when we did a bunch of HS stuff and just hanging out, having fun. The Saturday is like high peak Hamfest kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually this year. I'm gonna go.
Good. Yeah. Yes. Yes. All right.
I have to drive out there. I don't have a choice, but so I'm leaving.
Well, I wish I could drive out there, to be honest with you. I wish I had that option.
Jason said, "Hey, you could follow me," but he didn't. I don't. He'll probably leave on Sunday. I will leave on Tuesday.
Yeah,
and I will be there on Thursday. So,
good for you. Good.
The only thing I haven't figured out yet is where to stay. But that's probably easier.
Wait, are you driving out? You're driving, right?
Yeah.
And Monsanto has no spots?
I have no idea. Well,
you should look it up right now.
The Montesanto's like to camp from? No, I'm not going to do that. Probably going to go to a hotel because I don't have the van really set up for all of that.
Oh, you're driving in a van. You're not hauling anything.
No. Yeah, the van won't haul anything. I haven't bought anything either. So,
all right, Dawn, if you want to splurge, splurge, the Embassy Suites might have a spot. Just get a room at the Embassy Suites. You can park right there. You literally wake up, you go downstairs, you have breakfast, you roll right into the show. No problem.
All right.
Like just like it's the best. Air conditioning all the way. No question. Very comfortable.
It's all downhill.
Yeah,
it's literally, Paul, you're right. It's all downhill. That's right.
Yeah, I bought an air conditioner for my van, but I have not tested any of that stuff. And I'm
Dawn, you've splurged on so many radios. I think you might be able to splurge on this one moment and get a good hotel room at the Embassy Suites. You wake up, have some breakfast, get a little sausage gravy in you with some biscuits and some eggs, and then just hit it. That's what I do every morning. I wake up, I get a couple eggs, I get a little bit of eggs, a little bit of bacon, but that sausage gravy, that's what I want when I'm down in that area. I want all that. I want all that in my body.
And then right after that you head out to Montesanto?
No, in the morning for the show. See, that's the thing.
The show,
yeah. So actually you can drive with me. We'll figure it out. So the show, that's the big reason we're all going. It's supposed to be the show.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's one day, right? Or two.
That's Saturday full day, and then Sunday, and then we head out.
Yeah, I'm going to be there on Thursday. So.
Right.
Thursday,
So,
Friday.
Friday. I mean, if you're around, I'll drive you up. If we need to go that way, that's fine.
Yeah. The Embassy Suite still has rooms.
Yeah.
But it's cancellations this week. This is usually when everybody cancels last minute.
Yeah, I'll sign or go in and put in a reservation. I had tried to do it once before, and they were trying to stick me from the 17th through anyway. I couldn't get the dates I wanted because I want more dates than what they were offering.
Right.
But I'll get that worked out. If I have to call them, I will.
All right. Cool.
But and then the only other thing I got to figure out is where to stay Tuesday night as I'm headed out that way.
How far is it? Isn't it just one state over?
No, I'm in Texas, man.
That's a drive-up motel.
Take you a day to get out of Texas.
No, I want to do a POTA while I'm on the way. And that's the thing. If Jason's around, I'll follow Jason, but I'm not going to impose on him to stay in his trailer or anything. I can find something, but if he stops somewhere, to POTA, which they've done before, definitely I want to do that. Because I'm taking radios. I might even take the damn Buddy X.
Have you got it yet?
No, it's supposed to be here on Monday.
Oh, cool.
And I'm off on Monday.
And you ordered it in January?
Yep. I got on the list in January. Unless Chris had me on, because Josh knows I've talked to Matt, I don't know how many times. And Matt says, "Oh, I'll get you on the list." And then he'll say, "I've talked to Chris. You're on the list." But I never saw an email. So I like this in January. I said, "Well, you know what? I'm going to check." So I sent Chris an email and I said, "Look, if I'm not on the list, put me on the list." Oh, and yeah, when I did that, I ordered the that Buddy, the Power Mini 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so apparently that's when Chris put me on the list.
Yeah,
you've been on since January. Okay.
I chatted with Chris in April, on April 29th, which was the camp out.
Okay. Well, then you should get yours maybe in
Christmas. I'm gonna be in Iowa for the month of August, so.
And like he sent me and said, "Are you sure do you still want it?" I said, "Chris, how do I pay you?"
All right, so my wife is home, so I have to get ready to put the family to bed to be able to do the podcast. That's what I have to do right now. I got to go get those kids in bed. So I'm gonna wrap up here.
All right. That concludes Ham Radio House Hunters.
That's it. Yeah. I'm telling you, Don, that's a whole jam right there, man. I'm telling you.
It's going to be an adventure. But,
all right.
Altitude, Tropo Maps.
This has been just like our after chats. I love
a little bit. Yeah, it feels like that. But I can see you. I can see you, which I don't normally do. So, All right, everybody, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting. And get ready for Ham Radio House Hunters in the future, right, Don?
Until next time.
Until next time. All right, take it easy, guys, on the Zoom.
It was fun.
Have a good night, Josh.
Thank you so
everybody.
much. See you
guys.
Talk to you on Saturday.
Yeah, it's coming soon enough for sure.
2 days.
See ya. All right, everybody watching, thanks so much for doing that, and I will talk to you later. 73.